Yellow. Hope everyone's having a great day. I know I started early, so some people won't show up until 6, but it's only 10 minutes away. I got home a little early. I have my foot elevated, the heat pad on. It's not doing too well. I need to go to the doctor. I know I'm a stubborn bitch. I need to go to the doctor. It's only getting worse instead of better, so definitely needs to get checked out. Hope everyone's having fun. Fred can't join us tonight, seeing as he moved in with his sister. And his nephew is either above him or underneath him. I forget what he said. But he has to be quiet. So, plan of action, since it's just one person here at the moment. Probably going to change this Kickback and Chat to either Saturday or Sunday, where Fred can join us. I'm going to change the thumbnail so it includes Fred, because this is going to be a me and Fred stream, always. It'll probably be semi-early Eastern Standard Time, because Fred's 6 hours ahead of us. So let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That shouldn't be too bad. I don't know how old his nephew is. Me and Fred are going to figure it out, and then from there we'll figure it out. So we'll figure it out. Let's see. I want to open up the news of the day. I was supposed to check Twitter when I was on. So the kids take a nap from 12:30 to 2:30, which is like a 2-hour nap. And I could do whatever I need to do for that 2 hours. And I was supposed to check Twitter, and I did not check Twitter. I was too busy watching AT2 stream about last night because I was curious, honestly. I was curious about the Johnny H shit and what was going on. Let's see. Wow. Tesla driver lost scholarship before Fury crash. I thought Teslas can drive themselves. So how did this Tesla get into an accident? Streaming is even more dangerous than you realize. And it's Pokemon in this article. I enjoy making 6 figures. McDonald's manager blasts people who job shame her. Okay, she's making 6 figures. Let her work at freaking McDonald's as a manager. She's making money. There are people that aren't. Little Mermaid trailer sets awful Disney record with nearly 1 million dislikes. Oh, damn. It looks like the Little Mermaid is possibly more dark-skinned than usual, which is awesome for that sense. Nephew is 7, so he's in bed by 8 p.m. So that would be probably then we'll start at like noon. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 p.m. for you. So that's not bad. 6, 7, 8. So we can do a 2-hour stream if that works for you. Let me know and we'll figure it out, like I said. So trying to see if there's anything good to talk about today. Meet the new Dollar General shopper who earns $100,000 a year. How do you earn $100,000 a year shopping at Dollar General? I want that job. Oh, from the archives, since in free, prosecutors run from their evidence. I heard about that. The Little Mermaid already highlights a major Disney remark problem. Uh-oh. That seems to be really bad. What is this? Bored Florida sheriff maybe lied about killing in his teens. Uh-oh. How does a Florida sheriff who is a killer become a sheriff? Oh, that's impressive. Very impressive. What's this? DJ Drama explains how the streets are responsible for P&B Rock's death. I heard about that as well. So Prince William and Harry walk with Queen's casket, evokes memories of Diana's funeral. But they were kids. They were like so young when their mother died. And that's it for like the top highlights of the day. Wendy Williams checks into a wellness facility. Oh, wow. I mean, she's been on a roller coaster of, is she doing well? Is she not? Are people worried about her? So I'm glad she's checking into a wellness facility to get the help she needs. Hey, Charles. Hey, Rose. Was it tough, the service? I know I watched Diana's when I was younger, and that was really hard. But since I was working, I didn't get to watch the Queens, which there are probably online highlights. I'll have to check it out. Don't mind me, I'm yawning. I had a long day. These kids are nonstop going. They don't ever stop. The only time they stop is from 12:30 to 2:30. And I was actually pretty impressed today that all the kids literally were napping. Usually we have like 1, 2, 3 the most that don't nap. Which I was that kid anyways that didn't nap when I was their age. So I understand. But all of them passed out today. So it was nice, and I got to like sit there and relax. Just right, they don't stop ever. I mean, they're 3 and 4. Most I think we have 1 3-year-old. So I hopefully will be staying in room 9. But as a caregiver, I might be floating classrooms, which is fine. I don't mind it. But my facilitator, I guess she's like the head facilitator. That's what her job title is called. Technically, like the principal, I guess you could call it. She wants me to stay in 9, but if like we need 3 per classroom. It's a 10-1 ratio with kids. We have 18. Well, we have 19. We have 1 kid that is on vacation right now. So, like, say I need to go to the bathroom, there needs to be 2 in the classroom at all times. Like, even when they're sleeping. Because I was like, do you want me to take the lunch tray to the kitchen? And she was like, no, you can't leave. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, they're sleeping. None of them are getting up. But I get it. It's safety protocol, and you never know. That's 18 too many kids for me. Right? I just got my old home empty today. Everything is in my van, but I'm ready to give the keys. Right? I still have stuff in my Jeep that I need to unload this weekend. Honestly, I was like, F it. It could stay there. I do need to find the foot massager, which when Jake gets home, I'm sending him on a mission. So that way I can put my feet on it. It's like a circulation and heat. So that way I can see if that helps taking down the swelling. But I'm glad that you finally got that empty. That's crazy. But you were doing that pretty much all by yourself. So, I mean, I understand. Moving sucks. And honestly, I do not want to move again. But I'm looking to see if we could buy this house that's literally 5 houses down from my grandmother. So that would be nice. Hey, Lisa B. I got to see how much it's going for. Honestly, I didn't even check. It's a beautiful house. See, the thing is, whatever house we get needs to have a garage. Actually, there's one too that I saw today. So the school for me is a 3-minute drive, which I prefer that. And then Jake's like, well, this guy, his brother owns a complex. And I'm like, well, where is it? He's like, I don't know. I said, well, tough love, because I want to stay in the area. I want to be able, like, I come home during lunch. I go, like, today I went to Dunkin, the gas station, Dollar General, and then back to the school. I did all of that in a half hour. And I got, like, they needed a dustpan. And then today, hey, Chronic, they're doing, like, a teacher's night. And, of course, they let me know today at 12. They're like, hey, so you're going to stay till 7:30? I'm like, hell to the no. Said, first off, my feet are killing me. Like, I literally, this ankle is so swollen. And I know, Chronic's going to say the same thing that she's been saying. You need to go to the doctor. I'm going to go to the doctor. It's that bad. I know I need to go. So I got to schedule an appointment. I got to find an ortho first, which shouldn't be that hard, but, and check out why this ankle is the way it is. Honestly, I probably sprained it. This is my bad ankle. It's the one that I've had surgery on twice. So I probably did something. You thought I went to the doctor already? Oh, no, Fred, I procrastinate. You should know better by now. I hate the doctor. If I don't have to go to the doctor, I'm good. Like, I procrastinate. The only doctor I'm waiting to go to, and I'm like desperate to go to, and my August appointment got rescheduled because the office got COVID, and I was pissed, though I understand, but it's my a therapy appointment. And I've been looking forward to this appointment since June so I can get back on some kind of a medicine and just talk to somebody, because I was really depressed before. I mean, I'm doing a little better now since I'm working and stuff, but I really just want to talk to this therapist. So my appointment now is in January, but I'm on the cancellation list and they have to give me 24-hour notice so I can get in there, and they're going to try to fit me in if they can, since they canceled in August. I'm like, fucking January? Are you kidding me? At this point, I might just go to a different therapist, because I don't want to wait till January. I just want to go and talk to somebody. And my boyfriend's actually going too, which he's always like, he's like, I know that I have something wrong, but I've never actually been diagnosed. And I'm like, well, then make an appointment too. Like, you never know what could happen, and you never know. Like, I mean, he's had a lot of different things happen in his life. Like, his mom's been married how many times? His dad killed himself, and he found him. I mean, this kid's been through hell and back. So he needs to go as well. It'll be good for the both of us. I know, like, with this whole apartment thing, he's like, I feel like I failed. I said, but you didn't fail. It was the landlord that was the asshole. How did you fail? We didn't fail this. But if we buy this house, that would be awesome. It's crazy now. Still waiting for mom's doctor to reschedule her follow-up. Yeah, it's bad. And that's why I'm, like, worried too. Like, the ortho may take forever, but I need to go. Ooh, a house for rent. That's North Carolina. Why did they give me North Carolina? I put in Connecticut. Right? No, I put in, oh my Lord, this is town. I want to see how much this house is. That's like 2 houses down. Okay, this is for rent, but that's right across the street from the beach. It's a 2-bedroom for $2,600 because it's right across the street from the beach. That's freaking insane. And I don't want to look for rent. I want to look to buy. Buy. Let's see. Town. Honestly, I'm giving away all of my info. And again, it goes to North Carolina. Did I not put in Connecticut every time? I might just look at the current location. Might be better. It's going for something for rent. It went to North Carolina again. Oh my God. Bye. I'm not in North Carolina. New Haven. Jesus. Hey, Will Riley Sports. How are ya? Hey, Peach. I had a childhood from hell. Therapy saved me. Highly recommend. I did have a therapist. He was the most wonderful therapist in the entire world. He helped me get clean. I'm now 12 years clean. And he helped me through so much. But unfortunately, he had a heart attack and passed away. And every therapist I've tried after him, like one was like, leave it up to God. God will take care of it. It's like, no, you have problems. You need to fix them. You can't just leave it up to God. Like, no. So that one didn't work. I had 2 other ones. I just didn't feel comfortable talking to them. So yeah, $750 a month over there. That'd be nice. I mean, my area, because we live by the beach, some of them are really high. And I want to stay in this area, like I said, but even if we go inland more, like most houses that are by this airport, people don't want to be here because it's loud. It really is loud. But for me, I'm just so used to it that I don't even notice the airplanes. Like even at my grandmother's, we're at the end of the runway and I don't even hear them. Yeah, I still want an X-ray on my feet. Ligaments can be tricky. Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely have to find an ortho tonight. From UK here in England. Woo! How are you doing? 12 years. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Peach. Yeah, it was a tough ride. I think I did it for 3 years, and it was technically my ex-boyfriends that got me into it. And I knew I shouldn't have, but at that point, it was like having to see someone get high every day. It was like, why? Why am I going to watch you get high and not get high myself? And that's what, like, effed it up. Apartment 15. Ooh, this is... Oh, no, that's not near me. I thought for sure that. Why do they keep putting for rent? Like, I know I was looking up for rent before. I want to check out buying this house. And it goes to North Carolina again, dude. Allow. I hate Zillow. Okay. Ooh, is this the house? It is? Damn, that's really a lot of money. It's 2 bedrooms and it's that much money? Holy fuck. It's $250,000 for this house. For 2 bedrooms. That's insane. OMG. Yeah. Central air, 1 garage space, 0.26 acres. For my parents' house went for $200,000. So I know that like the market's a little higher, but yes, feel better soon. I've been ill 7 months. Oh my God. Oh my God. I hope you feel better. But you know what, Peach? It's honestly cheaper to have a mortgage than it is to rent. And honestly, I'd rather just listen, if he's not going to give me a ring, you can buy me a house. You could get your garage. Buy me a house. Make it easy. Hey, Jizabella. Good morning. Ooh. I wonder, are you like, so if you're saying good morning, you must be Australia or New Zealand, around there? You can get to 1,000. Yeah, right? Wow, that's cheap. Maybe I need to move overseas. I can't believe this is like $250,000 for this house. It's in a nice area. I mean, it's literally 5 houses down from my grandmother. Primary bedroom, kitchen, dining room, living room, sunroom, which I love that it has a sunroom, bathroom, but it has an upstairs. So what's upstairs? Just the attic? I mean, that's kind of a lot of money for a house. Ooh, it has a fireplace. Ooh. Yes, baby, yes. Has fans in every room. What the hell window is that? It looks like the window goes into the kitchen. That is so weird. Here, babe. It's like, pass me the food through the window to the bedroom. I mean, it has a tub. It has to have a tub so I can take my baths. Walk-up attic, bonus room. So it has a bonus room, which is small, but the walk-up attic is huge. Huge. Technically, we can finish the attic and make that another bedroom, maybe like another room. Yeah, it's not finished, but you can finish it for sure. It's not that bad. My dad's finished rooms plenty of times. He redid, when I was a kid, he did my room because that was not finished when the guy got the house. Oh, the backyard is all dirt. That's a pretty big garage, though, and it has a deck. I know the guy that did the whole inside. My grandparents know him, too. Oh, it has a basement, and it has storage in the basement. So that's technically more space that we could redo as well. Like, that's not bad. Though it's a lot of money. But, hey, Brian. Must be a big house. No, it's 2 bedrooms. That's what it says. I mean, it has the attic and the basement, but like technically, like I said, it's not finished. So we would have to finish that. It's not cheap here in North Carolina. It's a lot cheaper in North Carolina than it is in Connecticut. That's for sure. I know that. My parents got their house for $120, and it has 4 acres of land, and it had a 3-car garage with a 2-bedroom apartment upstairs of the garage. And then their house, which they're extending it, they have a wraparound deck now, and a pond with 3 ducks and 5 little ducklings now. But it was very much cheaper and a lot more land, and that's where my dad was born and raised, and then he came to Connecticut in the Coast Guard, met my mother, and my mom's been promising him for 18 years that she was going to move, and we ended up going to college, all of that, and she still didn't move, so they retired down there. And then I was supposed to go with them. The attic well, the apartment above the garage, I shouldn't say attic, it's an apartment, was supposed to be mine. And because they don't have a Dunkin Donuts in the town, and I know that sounds weird, but that really turned me off. I need my Dunkin Donuts. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going. So my brother and his wife now are living there. Their issue is they're trying to buy a house and land, and there's nothing for sale right now in North Carolina. Though I just found places. But they want to stay in the same town because she works in the same district. And he's now firefighting and all of that in that district. So they're trying to stay in that area, which there's nothing in that area. Yeah, I just got on, so I'll be on for a little bit. So as soon as you get home, I'll be here. Bring Dunkin Donuts over there, please, right? I said that to my mom. My mom's like, oh, I think Dunkin's being built. And then she's like, no, it's not. It's a Pizza Hut and something else. I mean, they have Starbucks, but I'm not a Starbucks person. The price for Starbucks that you pay for like a venti is ridiculous compared to what I can get at Dunkin Donuts. And my mom actually, that's the whole point. She's actually put in numerous times they should build the Dunkin Donuts there. They have a college right there. They would benefit so well putting a Dunkin Donuts in. And then I was like, well, if they're not going to put a Dunkin in, why don't you buy something and make one? There you go. Run a franchise. Girl, you would love it here. We have a ton of Dunkin right down the road for me. Unfortunately, I don't like Dunkin. Girl, that's like what it's right here. Hey, people are either Starbucks or Dunkin. I understand. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Am I missing any? Yeah, 5 within like a mile of each other. I love it. Hello, Lucky. Did you get... Oh, you know what? I have not been on Instagram. Let me see. Dunkin is selling pumpkin spice. Yes, that is one of my favorites. I was going to go this morning to Dunkin before I went to work, and I decided to paint my nails, which I didn't do a base coat, which if you do gel polish, you really need to do a base coat, and I didn't. So I sat there and I peeled off the polish during school. It's so bad. Oh, yes. I got your message. I will definitely hit you back up in a little bit after the live. We get Dunkin Donuts in the UK. Sounds so nice. It's not fair. Yes. Oh, it's a fave. I wish you guys got Dunkin over there. It would be awesome. So I said it could be a subject of a video of yours. Yeah, I saw that. That would be awesome. I know there's a lot happening right now. We got pumpkin spice hair. Making a Starbucks run. Yeah, that's actually great video to do. New York Dunkin Donuts is so good. The one in Cali is not great. I'd rather pay extra at another coffee place. I don't blame you. Connecticut's right by New York. So our Dunkin is like pristine. So I can only imagine like New York being exactly the same. But why would California suck? That sucks. I'm sorry. We'll have to see about getting a Dunkin over there across the seas. Dunkin Donuts just sells donuts or cakes too. So they sell all different coffees, lattes, espressos, culottes, which is like an ice kind of coffee beverage. They sell donuts, bagels, breakfast sandwiches, bacon bites, which are like little pieces of bacon that they make little bites out of, little donut bites. They sell a lot of food and coffee, all different types of coffee and donuts. Yes, and some have ice cream. Like the two that are by me, because Froyo was next door and then Froyo sold out, they had soft serve ice cream machines that two of the main Dunkins sell ice cream. No problem. Yeah, I don't know why they don't have Dunkin' across the seas, like in England. Or like even like France or Italy. Like that would be like, they would make so much money. Like Dunkin' is so good. I'm surprised. I know. What was I going to talk about? Deaf Noodles. This guy he's ruining his career so bad. He really needs to stop doing what he's doing. He doesn't know how to take a joke. He's being complete asshole to people. And it's like, listen, you call yourself a comedian. You should be able to take the people that are, heckling you, all of that shit. You should be able to, you've been on YouTube for how many years? You should know you need thick skin. And everything that you're doing, people are happy. So they're gonna talk shit. But he did a Twitter space, which honestly I wanted to listen to it and I didn't. But he's striking channels. So Edwin, which is Homeboy Receipts, he has a couple of channels, but Homeboy Receipts is where he does like all of his research and stuff. I love watching him on the weekends. He usually goes from like 9 p.m. to like 5 a.m. They're really great videos, and he deep dives into things. Edwin tweeted yesterday that he got a strike for the Deaf Noodles video that he did. And Salvo Pancakes got 2 strikes from Deaf Noodles striking him. Yet, here's Deaf Noodles talking about Sneeko, which is another YouTuber who's a horrible YouTuber. Horrible. Saying, oh, people shouldn't do that. People are going to have opinions. Like, the right thing to do is not strike the video unless, he said, unless, they play the video and, don't give any commentary. I can understand that, which I do. But here he is saying that and literally striking channels. Well, I thought you said, people have opinions and they're entitled to their opinions. Why are you striking channels? Because he's an asshole. Honestly, I'm going to keep calling him a little bitch until he's done. He's literally a little bitch. He needs to grow up. I do have a clip. Hey, Pete McWilliams. How are you? Did you see Malloy has taken down his stream? He also said he did not take his shot again. Oh, no. What's up with that? I'll have to check on him. Deaf Noodles. But Sneeko is this guy that Deaf Noodles is taking his side. And he's really not the best YouTuber. He has a lot of allegations going. And I was going to look into it, but I don't even know. I honestly don't know who this guy is. I've never even heard of him. So I need to find out who this guy is, look at it, and then check it out. So that way maybe we can talk about it for a hot topic. But I do have the clip of Deaf Noodles saying oh, we shouldn't be striking videos. Da-da-da-da-da. And here he is doing it. So let's add that really quick. That's a really short, it's a clip from Twitter. He's literally ruining his career. He needs to just stop. I did see one Twitter space. Definitely did, though. Yeah, so he was, he did his Twitter space, and Salvo Edwin, all of them went to go talk to him, and he's like, hell no, you guys are not talking to me. And it's like, you cannot take these people talking to you. Like, I get it. They're your enemies. But you got to grow up. You're what? How old? How old? Old enough. You need to grow up. Maybe if you had conversations with these people, you could understand where they're coming from, or they can understand where you're coming from. But he doesn't know how to control himself. Like, literally, when we saw him at the roast, he literally walked out the door and pushed Salvo. Like, how mature are you? And then he's sitting there on Twitter telling people, yo, if you want to talk shit about me, come to my roast. And I'll push you off the stage like I did Salvo. It's like, grow up. My phone is arriving tomorrow. Ooh. I would never strike anyone unless they use my car footage on my channel. It's copyright, yes. I have tried to strike somebody because, one, they sat there and they used my video. They played it without any they put some commentary in it, but there is so long that you need to talk in between the commentary. And plus, he made 30 fucking videos on me. It was like, all right, when are you going to grow the fuck up? Same thing like Deaf Noodles. When are you going to grow the fuck up and stop talking shit? He was literally sitting there talking shit about me doing makeup. It's like, really? You got nothing better to do with your time than sit there and talk shit about me putting on makeup? Grow up. I've heard of Sneeko through Xylee. Yeah, I know Xylee covered it too. Oh, I'll write back to the... Ooh, yes. There you go. Yeah, what phone did you get? I want to know what phone you got. Is that the same Edwin who was being horrible about Andrew legal mindset? I don't believe so. It's Edwin Generations was his first, like his original name. He's changed it now to Homeboy Receipts, but he still goes by Edwin. Everybody knows him by Edwin. I know he had another name too. It was Homeboy Edwin, then he put Homeboy Receipts. But he has another channel. I think his main channel is still Edwin Generations. He's actually a great creator. Xylee's always on there too with Edwin. I know Keemstar hangs out sometimes over there, which I'm not a big fan of him. But honestly, there's some points that he has that I do have to agree with him on. Which, you know, you don't have to like somebody to agree with them. That's normal. Who else hangs out over there? Well, Salvo, of course, hangs out over there. He actually had Gabby Hanna on his panel the other day. And a lot of his fans were getting pissed off that Gabby Hanna was on his panel. But he wanted to know exactly what was going on. Like, if she was actually having a manic breakdown, or was she just playing up to the fact that these people were saying that she was being manic. So she was actually being manic to gain attention, which she was, when I say she was perfectly normal talking to these people, to me, that just proves it's like a hard situation, because I can see her still being a little bit manic, but I feel like she did it on purpose because people were telling her she was being manic and playing into it. And she was able to use her artistic side to bring it out and talk about it. But as she said, she's like, you're the idiots that are sitting here watching my videos. It takes 2 seconds to make a video and post it. And you guys are the ones watching my videos and bitching and complaining. And she's actually right. She's right. What a sad life. Yeah, right? Drama is everywhere. Makeup ones used to seem worse to me now than LawTube ones. LawTube, I can't believe that are actually having drama, because they were the one community that never really had drama. I will say the nail community never has drama. Never. Yeah, I think it's a different Edwin, too. Xylee is friends with Edwin, Salvo, Paige, Christy. Oh, guys. I'm in Van Luke's Discord, and guess who joined the Discord, too? Our Rich Lux. Oh, I was so happy. So hopefully I would love to do something with Richie and Van Luke, of course. So I've been talking to Van Luke. I'm going to help her set up her Discord, but that would be awesome. I need to test it out. What kind of phone was it? Let's see. But I have 30 days to return it and test it out. Did you tell us what phone? I don't see it. Is it an iPhone or an Android? I love Law too. I love Emily D. Baker. She doesn't have any problems. She's awesome. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Emily is awesome. She did have a lot of drama when she first started, and she was covering the Without a Crystal Ball stuff because, listen, KJ from Without a Crystal Ball hates when someone is better than her. So when Emily came out on the scene and was covering her case, KJ was pissed. And she gained and gained and gained. And she ended up passing her. And KJ was pissed. KJ's a little better with Emily, but I still think deep down inside she hates her. Because even though she plays nice, she usually hates people. She's one of those people. So, ooh, an iPhone 13. Okay. I'm not good with iPhones or anything Apple, which I'm getting a MacBook. So I guess I'm a real YouTuber, according to people that say you need to have a Mac to be a real YouTuber. It's going to be my school laptop. They're giving it to me. Every teacher has a MacBook. So we'll see. But I'm not going to use it for, YouTube. You never know. We watch a lot of YouTube, kid YouTube, though. A real YouTuber, right? This person said, you are not a real YouTuber unless you have a MacBook or a Mac computer. It's like, really? I can do so much on a Windows freaking laptop or computer. Who is the rule maker for YouTube that says you are not a real YouTube unless you have a Mac? Really? You don't have a Mac, and I know that for a fact. So I guess you're not a real YouTuber. The kids will give you hell. What will you be teaching? So I'm doing pre-K. I mean, we're doing colors, numbers, just basic getting ready for kindergarten stuff. That explains why I'm not a real YouTuber, right, Charles? No MacBook. If you don't have a Mac, you're not a real YouTuber. My ex had one, and it sounds amazing on those laptops. You can use whatever you want with a stupid comment. Oh, really? I'm going to have to learn a whole new system. I've literally never had anything Apple besides an iPod and an iPod Shuffle, which you just downloaded music and pressed like 4 buttons, and that was it. So those were easy. Also, you will make a desktop still. Yes. So now that I have a job, Jake was going to buy me my desktop anyways. Like, I was going to build it. But now that I have a job, I'm going to pay for it. And I'm going to have Pope, my IT and best friend, and my other best friend, Dave, who lives in Connecticut, help me figure out everything that I need to build my PC. And then I'm going to have Dave put it together, since that's what he does. Or if my brother ever comes to visit me, he could put it together, but I highly doubt he's going to come visit me. And it's not going to be a Mac, bitch. It's going to be Windows, because you know why? I'm a Windows girl. I don't give a fuck about Apple. And I know a lot of you like Apple. That's fine. I am a Windows person. I love Windows. I've had Windows phones. I would still have a Windows phone if it wasn't for the fact that Verizon stopped making Windows phones. So it connects to the Xbox. It connects to the computer. You can do so much. I'd rather have Windows. Now, I will not get Windows 11 until they fix all the bugs and all of that, but this must be why Mike Malloy never invites me back to his channel anymore. Well, you're always welcome here, and if you ever want to come on panel, hit me up and I'll send you the link. I'm always happy to have people on panel. I don't like putting it in the chat because I know my stalker will click that link. That was like always the issue. Any panel I would go in that the link was in the chat, I'm not even joking you. This man would show up, be in the back chat, which was the private chat, so you guys couldn't see it, and harass me and say the most horrendous, I mean horrendous things to me. Like, I can't wait to have sex with you and your mother. Have a threesome. I can't wait to, I hope your mother dies so I could pee on her grave. Like, this is what this guy said. I actually still have the Google Doc. If anyone ever wants to see what this guy says, I have it for you. We used to have Windows phones, right? I love my Windows phone. I mean, I could switch over to AT&T. AT&T still makes Windows phones, but I prefer mine. Oh, I thought Jake was home. Who was she talking to? Hold up. Let's see. Hello. What's up? Well, just say you have to go to the bathroom. Okay. He's like, I don't want to talk to your grandmother. I don't blame him. She'll talk to you forever. Let me make sure the door is at least open for him. Let's see. Yep. It's unlocked and I don't have to do anything. Though I just got up and I haven't, this is the first time I've sat like, well, I sit all the time. When I say I sit in like these little ash chairs, it's unbelievable. Oh, I know I'm not muted. It doesn't matter. Windows phones stopped because Nokia switched to Android. Really? That's why they stopped? What a sick dude. Yeah, I know that. I witnessed that. It happened many times, right? You were there. You know. No matter what panel I went on. And I found out that someone who was supposed to be my friend was actually letting a stalker know when I would be on her panel so he could show up. So she can have drama on her channel because she's a drama channel. This is one of the many reasons why I stopped being her friend. She also was very insecure, and she accused me of being in someone's chat, which I was, but my friend was on panel, Empress. She was using my other friend's channel at the time to do her tarot card readings, and it was in February, and she knew that I was having a bad day because my friend passed away on Valentine's Day a couple years. It's been now a long time, actually. It's been like 15 years. So she invited me to do a reading, and I was like, all right. I didn't realize, though, that this person and the other person whose channel that my friend Empress was on was fighting. I mean, she's always fighting with somebody. So she got pissed that I was in her chat. Though it wasn't the person whose channel it was my friend that was using her channel because she didn't know how to get on StreamYard at the time until I helped her. It's like, really? You're that insecure that I'm in somebody's chat that you are having beef with? First off, you don't control me. Second off, I could be in anyone's chat that I want to be in. I'm not sitting there talking shit about you. I don't talk shit about people. And who are you to dictate my life? If I was sitting there going, oh, she's this, she's that, I can understand. But I was sitting there getting a tarot card reading. And then she got mad that one of my friends was in the chat talking shit about her, but they had their own issues. And she blamed it on me. It's like, well, I'm not the one in the chat talking shit, so why are you mad at me? Come to find out, she was the one giving my stalker the link to come harass me in the back panel. So all that time, I thought she was my friend. Here she is doing that. That's why I'm happy. I'm content with what I do. We don't have drama over here. I've taken the negative people out of my life that started all of this. Oh, okay. I'll send them the link. And I'm so much happier. I'm so much happier without these people in my life. Honestly, it's a blessing in disguise what happened. Though I was extremely hurt by what happened, it was a blessing in disguise. And sometimes you need those blessings to get rid of the negative in your life. All right. I am sending you a DM on Discord with the link. There you go. Come hang out with me. Good news alert. Chick-fil-A worker in Fort Beach, Florida, takes down would-be a carjacker after he stole keys from a woman with a baby. Oh my God. That's crazy. You do very positive videos. And I'm happy that like even for instance, Peach used to hang out over there with me. And when me and this person got into that fight and I was done with her, I never let anything come between me and Miranda. I don't even like talking about people to put my opinion onto others because my opinion is my opinion. Why am I going to tell people how I feel about somebody so that way they can feel negative? It's not their problem. And learn for themselves. Though I would never want her to get hurt, I did let her know like this was what was happening and just to be careful. So, and then she got upset that Miranda was still a mod. Hello there.
Hey there.
How are you?
You know, it's been a weird day, but not a bad day. So I guess I'm fine.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
What were you up to today? That it was a weird day.
Well, we'll start with the probably more interesting stuff, if any of it's interesting. Weird dog stuff. I've got a dog who hates to get his nails trimmed.
Oh, yeah.
And we finally hit one person at the vet. He's so funny because he's drugged up right now. We found one person at the vet who I could take him to who was able to do it. And she was so proud of herself because she knew what a struggle he was. And then the following month, she had moved. She no longer works there. She's in another city at a college doing veterinary stuff.
Okay.
So some other person was there. And I take him on Saturdays and there's fewer people and he really needs to have a lot of people to hold him. And I can't be one of them because he'll be even worse if I'm one of the ones holding him. He really acts out. And the poor girl, the last time, couldn't do it. She got part of one foot and just gave up because they don't want it to be a traumatic experience and they don't want him, feeling like he's being attacked or something, which I get.
Yeah.
But that meant he had gone a long time without a nail trim. So
which that's not a good thing because then they start scratching themselves. They'll get cuts, scabs.
Yeah, with him, what he has done is one of his dew claws came off.
Yeah.
And it was really big. And, it came off because it got caught on something because it wasn't trimmed. So now that little toe is exposed and he allowed me to bandage that foot at first, but I really wanted to change the bandage, and he started getting all snappy. He didn't
Yeah.
want me touching it, and it's weird because you can touch it, and he's playing, so it doesn't hurt, but he just doesn't want me taking the bandage off. So he pulled the bandage part out, and the wrap is still on the foot. And so he just looks goofy. And plus, I've been trying sedatives on him, hoping my son and I could do this.
Yeah.
And so he's just kind of dazed. He's a little high on the couch. But not to the. We're really going to try the good stuff tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then see if I can put a fresh bandage. And that leaves me with 2 more pills of the good stuff for Friday when he goes back.
Yeah.
And we're really. Yeah, I see that. You see, I've taken him to a groomer. Kinda. It was at like a PetSmart, and
We're not bad at PetSmart.
Yeah, but he even years ago when he was a little younger, he was just as bad about it. And I would take him and look, and it didn't look like they'd trimmed him at all. And I think because he's just so bad when it comes to that. He just doesn't like it. He doesn't like people messing with his feet and trimming them. So
I understand. My cat, she's never got her nails clipped. She does not even like us touching her paw.
Yeah.
And she's like 12 years old now. But she will scratch herself and get so many scabs that it's not good. And we even have special medicine now to help with her skin. And it actually does really well. But it's like, I wish I can cut her nails.
Yeah,
you have to be very careful though, because they have such nerves in their nails that if you cut too far, you can damage their nail.
Yeah. See, I've got well, it's not here. I used to have it over here because it acts like a flashlight.
You could do nerve damage.
Yeah, you can mess them up. With the dog, it's the danger if you go too far, they'll start bleeding, which you can usually get it to stop, but it hurts a lot and it can get infected. I've got a nail grinder with a flashlight on it. I mean, it's fantastic. Even that, he will turn around and it looks like he wants to rip my head off. He just doesn't like me doing it.
Yeah.
And he just needs a lot of strong people holding him and just getting it over with, and then he'd be fine. But so we'll see Friday. Hopefully they can do that and put a real bandage on that foot.
Yeah.
So that little exposed toe doesn't get messed up. Right now,
or infected or any of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's not acting like it hurts, but it could get infected being with no nail on it.
If he does go after the bandage, you might need to get a cone so that way he can't get to the bandage.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he got the bandage off because we were trying to get it off, so it got loose, and so it gave him enough leeway to pull the rest off. So I've got a donut, which is what he's wearing, and cones. And the donut actually works really well on him. But yeah, it was just a matter of I wanted to get it off because I want a clean one on there. And he's just making it super difficult. So
what kind of dog do you have?
He is a pit bull.
Ooh, yes, I love pits.
Didn't know when we got him because the Humane Society claimed he wasn't. But we had him DNA tested for Christmas one year. And he's 100% American Pit Bull Terrier.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had a pit bull for a while, but so actually I was living here. So my grandmother has an in-law apartment attached to the backside of her house, but my uncle has moved in there now. So that's why we're not in there. But I was there in my 20s when I was doing, drugs and partying it up. And some guy was trying to break into our apartment, and I literally he was taking a card and opening my door, and I was slamming it and slamming it and slamming it. And my dog came at him and bit him. He ended up suing my grandmother, her homeowner insurance.
Yeah.
He was breaking into my apartment, yet he sued us. Are you kidding me? And then the dog, he was a really nice dog, but the little girl that was at my ex-boyfriend's house was tormenting him, and he ended up biting her, and they ended up having to put him down because that's how the laws are in the state.
That's one of my concerns about him, is that if he ever even accidentally bit somebody. I don't know the exact laws here in Florida, but I could believe that he could be taken away. And yeah, I
Usually it's 3 strikes. I don't know about Florida, but I can look it up for you because
that'd be
most
cool.
states are 3 strikes.
Yeah, and I my main job is in homeowners insurance, kind of.
Yeah.
And yes, a lot of insurance companies either don't provide coverage for what dogs do, or they have a limitation, and many of them will have a list of breeds that they don't allow.
And
Thank
pit bulls are one of
yes,
those breeds. Yep.
every time, and thankfully, I've never been asked.
But pit
My
bulls are like one of the sweetest dogs. Though they have a bad reputation, they're literally one of the sweetest dogs in the world.
to me, what I've seen looking.
Uh-oh. He's like,
Oh
beep,
gosh,
beep.
hold on, I know what that is. Give me
No
just 1 second.
problem.
I apologize. Oh boy.
No problem. My cat has never had her nails clipped either. She's 17. She only lets us just touch her paws when she's lovey, all I call it. Yes, lovey. I love that. Does she have issues where like she scratches and it like gets to her skin and like puts scabs on it? Yeah, pit bulls are so sweet. Them and boxers, even though they have a bad name. Yeah. Even Dobermans. Dobermans have, because they're bigger dogs, they have such a bad reputation. But if you train your dog right, they're amazing breeds. They're actually, Dobermans are very smart. They're very, very smart. Eventually, I do want to get a German Shepherd. I don't even want to think about the day that my cat passes away, but when she does, we're definitely getting a German Shepherd and then train him to help me if I have a seizure.
To explain the beeping noise,
Okay.
I'm going to go off on a bit of a rant. I thought it was like a fire alarm, like the plastic ones you put in the hallway or whatever.
Yeah.
But I thought that's weird because there's nothing happening. It's like nothing's on fire. There's no smoke in the house. And then I realized what it is, and it's a tip. Should anybody here ever decide to get divorced?
Oh no.
Here's the deal, and I love her. She was a pretty good wife, and she's an excellent ex-wife. But one thing that she did is that there were certain things she wanted to take with her.
Yeah.
And some of them were interesting. Like she left, and now I get requests for things like there was a stand-up mixer, like it came with bowls and the mixer.
Yeah.
It's not a handheld; it's a fancier type mixer.
Oh yeah, I know what
And
you're talking about.
yeah, and I got asked for it. I asked it, "Do we still have it?" And it's like, "Yeah, I guess." I looked, and there it is. And well, do you mind if I take it? And it's like, yeah, that's fine. I don't mix things. I don't
You don't
bake
bake.
things. I don't bake. I told my son that was your mom's thing, and I'm not going to try to duplicate that because I will simply fail. So if you need something baked, you go call your mother. I'm not baking anything. Don't have the time, and it's just not going to be as good. So let her do that. She'll be happy to bake you whatever you want. I'm not doing it. So it's like, yeah, mixer. And it's like, if you think of anything else, you let me know. And I've actually found things and given them away. But when she first moved out, she, like our silverware set meant something to her. It was important. It was a pattern that she had asked for, and somebody got her. And to me, it was silverware. I didn't understand the significance, but it was, and we were missing pieces. The kids used to not take plastic utensils to school. They take the metal ones. They'd never come back. So we didn't even have a complete set. And I'd been asking, can we replace this set? Because I want 8 forks and 8 knives and 8 spoons. I can't stand the fact that there are, 7 forks and 3 spoons and whatever. It just
Yeah.
it
I
annoys,
understand that.
Yeah, I need that balance of silverware. You're supposed to have the same number. But when she took the set of silverware, she went to like a dollar store and bought me and my son new silverware.
A dollar store? Oh my gosh.
It was like the worst. It's flat. You can't grip it. It's got the sticky stuff on it from each little label, never would come off. And I've put it to the side. I don't even use the stuff. But she also took the timers off of they're like magnetic timers that sit on the refrigerator. She took those with her. She really liked her timers. So she took them and she decided to get us a replacement timer. That's what just went off. I found it in the pantry. Now, again, she's not lived here for 2 years.
That might be a sign.
It could be.
I hate to say it.
But I mean, I found it because I was trying to straighten up the spices in the pantry, and I found the thing, and it's like, oh, it's I remember that. It still works. I think I don't use it because it's loud. You know, it's super loud. And
that's really loud.
But all I did was set the clock, and somehow it thinks it needed to go off. I don't even know how I turned an alarm on. It's on the clock. So it's like, what? So yeah, if don't do that. Don't replace the stuff. Just let them get their own stuff. I bought myself a beautiful American-made set of silverware, and the style was Providence, which I loved because my family is from Massachusetts and Rhode Island. So Providence,
okay.
Rhode
So
Island.
you're close by me.
Well, I live in Florida. Yeah, but my family, it's like my parents came from there and their parents came from Canada.
Okay.
And my dad got here because he had decided when he was going to retire from the Navy, he was going to live here in Florida. So that's how
I hate to say it, but all New Englanders, they always go to Florida.
Yeah, a lot of our insureds of a certain age, it's all 6 months back and forth. Winter's here, whatever passes for winter here, and then summer's up north, so they don't have to go through most of the heat. So yeah, that's true, and that was his plan. He didn't actually get to do it, but that was his hope, was to do that back and forth.
But see, you go from Canada, where it's cold, to Florida. I could never do that. I love the cold. I can never go to Florida.
My parents never once said, man, we wish we were around snow or in the cold. I think they liked Florida. I mean, they had been here since the 1950s, and then I showed up in the 1960s. So they had been here for a while. That's where a girl I talked to is from. Oh, well, cool.
Cape Cod. Yeah. Cape Cod is beautiful.
Yeah.
I think she's originally from Florida too. Yeah, see?
Look at that. Chucky,
the airport that is right by my house, literally, they have 6 flights that go to Florida. 6.
Yep.
And they make good money now. So the airport was going to go under when it was Delta and American Airlines. And now we have Airvo, one of those. I forgot how to say the name. But they do 6 flights to Florida. They just started going to 2 different locations in South Carolina and North Carolina. The flights are so cheap. It's $69.
Yep. That's awesome.
And so everybody they go to Florida. You can go to Florida for the day, and it's so cheap.
Yeah, because I don't fly much. I'm supposed to fly to Texas next year, and I haven't been on an airplane in a long time, so I'm not looking forward to it. But I've seen
that bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess we'll see because I'm going there, whether it's bad or not.
Are you going through like a big airport?
I don't know. I know we're not going to Dallas.
Okay.
Because does Austin have an airport?
I believe so.
It might be there because the little city we're going to end up at is, I think, closer to Austin than Dallas. But I know it's not Dallas because I always
they have an airport.
They do. Okay, so it's probably there.
Yeah, and it's international, so it's probably a big one. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, when I look at the price of tickets,
you're flying into it, it's not that bad, but leaving from there will be a little challenging. I would try to get an early morning flight because that's what I did, and it's so much easier. Even at 3-4 o'clock in the morning, it's actually easier in the morning. You don't have to deal with as much people.
I suspect that's what's going to happen because I think I'm basically going there to see the grandkids, and I'm going there with my ex-mother-in-law.
Okay.
And I think when she does goes for these flights, she probably does early morning things for that very reason, because there's fewer people there and it's just easier to do all that.
Oh yeah, Delta is the worst. They were really bad.
I have no idea what, like, if they have a particular.
Well, what's that? I forgot. Cheap. What is that site? Cheap. I know it's cheap something. Cheap tickets. Check that out because they have a lot of great deals on there.
I know. I will look at that. I know that my mother-in-law has a lot of, or ex-mother-in-law has a lot of points and such from buying tickets and going places.
Oh yeah,
she's like 81, but she's in very good health, but she likes to go to places as much as she can.
That's like my grandmother. She's 94 and she's like in such good health. She acts like she's 65. Delta was excellent assistance for disabled people. We recently flew American and their service was horrible. Well, give it to Delta for that. At least that was good for you.
And the nice thing with her is, even though she can get around, I think the last time she did an airplane flight, she let them put her in a wheelchair so that she could get around easier. Like somebody would be there to help her get from point A to point B because she was in a wheelchair, even though she could have walked. It just kind of made it a little bit simpler for everybody. But I'll let her do that part as far as whatever.
The Italian grandmother who feeds you well, right? Well, she's like, I don't cook anymore, which I'm like, you don't need to cook for me. Though she made eggplant the other day because she felt like cooking. It was actually like a cool day. So she's like, I'm going to cook eggplant. And then she was like, I'm going to make sauce tonight. And then she ended up not making sauce because it was too hot. So I was like, you don't have to. And then she made like a beef stew. Though she says she doesn't cook, she cooks. I call her just grandma. And my grandmother that was in North Carolina, we used to call her, I think I just called her grandma too. She was grandma in my last name. So.
There you go. Yeah, I get very confused by all the different names for grandfather and grandmother people come up with. I mean, I know the ones I use just because I was told to use them, because I don't know the exact French word for grandfather and grandmother, but the shortened version we were given as kids was Pepe and Meme.
Yep.
And nobody else is going to use those. So my grandkids have been, even though they haven't met me yet, have been taught to call me Pepe. And it's perfect because nobody else is going to pick that. But all the other versions, because they don't want to be called grandma because it makes them feel old. So they find some other version of it. And it's like, just
right.
It's fine.
My grandfather, I used to call him Poppy. So, and my dad's father he passed away before I was born. So I actually never got to meet him.
Yep.
So unfortunately, I don't have a name for him.
I get that. Yeah. I had of my 4 possible grandparents, only one was alive by the time I was born. So that was it.
My grandfather lived until he was 96, and he probably would have still been alive because my grandmother was 10 years younger than him. So she kept him keep going kind of thing. But he was on Coumadin, which is a blood thinner. He was at the casino and he had won this jackpot that he's been trying to win for years and years and years. And he actually won it and the ticket fell and he went to go pick it up and he hit his head.
Oh.
That night we came to see him, which he was still fine. He was functioning, all of that. And the next day he was in the hospital and passed away because the blood had rushed to his head.
That's wacky.
Yeah. Yep. And though Jake is right here, that was when me and Jake first dated 12 years ago. And he broke up with me on the same day my grandfather passed, but he didn't know. I didn't tell him that. I wasn't going to be like pity party, like, oh, you're breaking up with me and my grandfather just died. No, break up with me and do your thing. But hey, now we're together 12 years later. So
okay, I was about to say, it sounded like, okay.
We dated 4 different times.
Okay, well,
But he was the only like ex that like he was never did anything wrong. He was he's perfect, but we were just not ready. Like we were
yep.
still young. We were still, you know, doing our thing. So it wasn't like the right timing.
No, I get that. I mean, not to tell. I guess I'm already talking about my family. Thankfully, nobody in my family is ever going to watch me on YouTube. Hope you know we say now, but I've got a kid that's like that, where they're together now, but it seems like they were always breaking up.
Yep.
But it's not because one of them was doing something nefarious or whatever. It was just they felt
Wrong
like they
timing. Yeah.
yeah, like they needed to have their priorities somewhere else or wrong timing. And eventually, you know, they're together. They got a house and everything worked out fine. But yeah, it was unclear whether that was ever going to happen because it just kept splitting up.
Yeah. Yep. You're a cool granddad and the cool headset and a YouTube star. See?
Look at
But
that.
you're not a real YouTuber because you don't have a Mac. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I don't even own this headset. That's because Chucky's he likes to ask me every time what headset do I have, and it belongs to my job. I don't. I'm sure we have other headsets because it seems like my son every year would need a new headset.
Oh yeah, he what he's play computer games or Xbox.
He plays a lot of games on Steam.
Okay, yeah.
And in fact, his Christmas gift, which apparently he's going to get long before Christmas, is a Steam Deck, which we just paid for. We got the email saying, "Yep, it's your turn to pay us the rest of the money for it." And what is my channel? Oh gosh,
let me see. I think I can find it. I think it is Chuck at Comic List, right?
Well, that's the tricky thing. I technically have 2 channels.
Okay.
So, okay, good. It forced me to see me on the YouTube channel, and the Ethernet connection is still working fine.
Here,
Excellent.
I'll add you as a mod so you could put your channel in.
Ooh, a mod.
Because I know Peach likes to put in people's channels to help, which I love helping other people. I'm one of those people that like, if I can help my friends or people that are great YouTubers, why not? Like, I'm that type of person. There's not a lot of people out there because they feel like these people aren't worth it, or they're going to fuck them over, or they just want they want them all for themselves. Why? There's no need.
Yeah, and
you could talk though.
oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, the thing I just put in there, which I don't think it actually went. Let me try. Yeah, I don't know if the links are actually showing up. It looks like the same link. How can that be?
Until I add you as a mod, it probably won't go through. Let's see. If you put something in the chat, I can add you really quick. Oh, there you are. Mod. Okay. Add as a mod. Now you can put it in for you.
Okay, let's try this.
There we go.
Look at that. The second time I am a mod. Really going places here. That link is to that is the link to my personal channel.
Okay.
The comic list thing, let me switch back to that. Switch account.
And I'm going to add them to my list so that way on Fridays I usually put in Friends of Sunshinery in my links, and also usually on Kickback. So that way we can help people, because you never know what you might like. Miranda does K-pop. You never know who likes K-pop.
Right. Exactly. That second link is to the comic list one. So that one, if I did anything with it, would definitely be comic book oriented. However, comic list, and thank you for subbing, comic list is owned by another company called Go Collect. And I am, yeah, it was interesting. I I didn't even realize I had created something that I could sell. But many, many years ago, I got contacted by them and they'd wanted to advertise on my site, and we never could like figure out a way to do it that made both parties happy. And so then the question became, well, would you like to just sell it to us? It's like, okay, well, how would that work? Because I was making some money off of it. And if I sell it, now I'm making no money. And it became sell it to them, but keep doing what I'm doing for them. And so they pay me to keep doing the comic list thing, and they handle all the website stuff and all that background stuff that I used to have to do myself. And it looks a whole lot better because they know much better than I do how to have a real functional website that looks worth going to, whether it's on a phone or a tablet or a computer.
See, that's crazy. I never had someone that wanted a channel where they controlled it, but you still do what you do. Did they give you like a percentage?
I guess I could say that they paid me a flat sum every 2 weeks.
Okay.
So it's, I would always going to think first before I talk, which is a good thing. I sort of would make a little more money if I still owned it. However, I'd be spending that extra money and probably more on web hosting, and then of course the time on maintaining the site. Whereas this way, I simply post it on their site. In fact, why talk about it? I'll just put the link. I can put all the links I want.
Yeah.
Let me find it. So okay, this is, where are we? Come back here.
I did find a site. I don't know what I was looking for. Oh, I was doing a research video on a YouTuber that quit YouTube, and he was selling his channel on this website where they can sell channels, which I didn't even know that existed. He was trying to sell his channel for $2 million.
Wow.
I mean, he did have 2.5 million subs, but like $2 million, really? People actually do that?
I guess. I don't know.
I was like, well, I could just buy the channel.
Yeah.
Have 2 million.
I can promise you I didn't make that much selling comic lists. It wasn't quite $2 million. But yeah, I know I've read of stories of people who very early on had claimed, domain names that companies later wanted because they, early on, nobody wanted that, like soap.com or something silly like that.
Oh, yeah.
But eventually somebody wanted it because they wanted to sell soap, and that was an easy thing to remember. I don't know if that's real. I'm just sort of making that up hypothetically, but.
Oh, yeah, definitely people do that for sure.
Yeah. But in this case, it was it just stumbled onto me. We just got into a conversation, sounded like a good deal. And, it's the Michael Malloy Show. Look at that.
Hey, Mike.
The entire show is here.
Look at that.
Yeah. But yeah, I've had a very good time, I guess, working for Go Collect. Again, they take care of a lot of the heavy lifting. I can just do the stuff for the site, and it's all worked out really well. And the nice thing is that if there was ever a day where they said either they don't need me or want me to keep doing it, or for some reason they're not around, because nothing does last forever, though I hope they last for a very, very long time. It's what I'm doing there is still something I could go do on my own again. I mean, again, I'd have to find the web hosting and all that nonsense, but if I wanted to, and if there was still a way to make cash off of it, I could just go off and do it on my own. And
now, do they send you anything to like advertise or any of that?
Well, when you say send me anything to advertise, what do you mean?
Well, like comics, you do like comics. So do they send you new comics?
No, they're nice, but they're not that nice. However,
well, they want you to promote it. Why wouldn't they give you shit to promote?
Well, and we may get there. However, that's part of what I'm thinking YouTube wise, as in they were already doing YouTube videos and then they kind of put that on hiatus. So, and here I am with a fairly decent headset, or actually wonderful headset if you ask Chucky,
Yep.
and a nice camera that was on Farron's Amazon thing, and it's better than the camera I was using before. And if I get myself a halfway decent background, and maybe dress up a little, though I guess this is a comic book T-shirt, so that would work.
You don't have to
I
dress
could,
up.
yeah, I know it's YouTube, nobody cares. But I could very easily be part of their videos, as in if they already have if they already have somebody who is editing videos, packaging them and all that, they could have a weekly video where we discuss the new comic books coming out. And that's a case where, and I'm no tax expert, so do not take my word for this, but if I'm using internet, not to be on YouTube, but internet to be on my laptop to do my comic list stuff, that is a business expense.
Yes,
That
it is.
it's a legitimate. Again, we can question whether it's all the internet I'm paying for or a portion. Though, if you pay a flat sum for a flat amount of internet, how do you decipher how much of that is for this thing or that thing? I don't know. Again, I'm not an expert
I
in
think
this.
you could just put the entire bill.
And that's what I do. And I hope the IRS is not watching, but I'm counting on that being accurate, because if they ever come to me one day and say, well, Mr. LePage, actually, that's not accurate, I may owe them something. But we won't worry about that on this show. However, if I were doing videos talking about the comics coming out this week, well, in order to talk about them, I probably would need to see them, which means buying them. And that would be a business expense. So that would help either them if they wanted to provide those to me, or if I wanted to get them myself, I could legitimately claim that as a business expense, because I'm advertising comic lists to help it make more money, to bring more eyeballs to it. So yes, that we may get there. I may do that on my own, but I really want to do it with them, because I guarantee you they've already got the people who can make it look really good, and not just me sitting on a couch with this weird purplish color behind me. They can make it look good and sound good. It kind of like what they're doing with comic lists. They can do the heavy lifting. I just need my face on a screen talking about comics. So yes, and then the personal,
like an area in your house that you could set all that up.
There are areas in my house. Yes, short answer, yes. As in, instead of this behind me, I think if I sat somewhere else, I could easily have a bookcase or something that would be more appropriate.
Yeah, and then you could put comic books, you could put figures, all of that.
Yes. So yes, I could do that. It's just easier when I'm done working in my office. I come sit here on this couch, which is why the personal channel is called Chuck on the Couch. And that one, I've got a lot of ideas. I don't know if they'll ever actually happen, but I do have some ideas for that thing. But that one, I could do anything I wanted to, because that's just me. I'm not representing a company.
So. Yep. Definitely write down your ideas and go for it. That's what I do.
Well, I'll tell you this one. And if anybody wants to steal it, they're welcome to it, because I haven't copyrighted it or trademarked it. But auditing is a big deal. People love to audit places. They grab their cameras, they get their cameras on a stick, and they go cause a ruckus in a post office or a sidewalk or a court or something, and they say, I'm in a public space. I can do and say whatever I want. And what
auditors though are so crazy.
Yes,
their channels are nuts.
And that's going to be my gimmick, except it probably won't draw any viewers because it won't be crazy. But instead of an auditor, I'll be an auditor, as in I'm not really auditing. I'll be there with the camera, but instead of losing my mind and saying that the Constitution gives me the right to be a complete jerk and just harass people to no end, I'll actually be courteous and say, "Oh, would you like to be on camera? Or do you mind if I film here?" Again,
Yep.
it sounds like an interesting idea to me, but I suspect,
Honestly, I think people would like it because there's a lot of people that don't like the craziness of
yeah,
the audit, and they'd probably watch it for sure.
yeah, it may not be as, it won't be thousands or anything, but that's the neat thing is, you have. Hold on, I'm going to go back to YouTube. Hold on, like you're going to notice. Okay, so right now YouTube is telling me you have 766 subscribers.
Yep.
I'm going to wager, not literally wager, but I'm going to guess. I'm going to bet that you'd probably like more subscribers. Everybody would love more subscribers.
Oh, of course.
However, I'm also going to wager that you are not counting on this channel just blowing up, whether it's instantly or over a number of years, to pay a bill or to feed yourself or anything like
Yeah.
that.
No.
Right. So if it grows, cool. If you spend the next 5 years and it grows slowly, which they seem to do, that's fine too. You're happy with your community. If it gets bigger, yes, you'd like that, but you don't need it to get big because you want to quit X, Y, or Z.
Yeah.
You've got a life outside this YouTube channel that you seem pleased with, and that's taking care of the bills. This is just a fun thing you're doing, and if it makes you some cash, like I see the little thing going, if people want to send you PayPal money or buy merchandise or whatever, that's fantastic. But you're not depending on that.
Exactly.
That's the
I would love to
situation.
get to 1,000 so that way at least the income that I make from it can go back into the channel.
Right.
Because I work very hard on my videos. I do a lot of research, and it would just help with that time that I spend on it.
And it will. You'll get there. Again, it may take some time. It may take some event that you can't even predict, like with the LawTube stuff. They get the trial of the century, and suddenly you've got that Law and Lumber guy who didn't even have a channel. He's just showing up.
Or Legal Vices, who went from his first day to 20K.
Right. So there may be some event you get connected to that you can't even imagine yet that'll boost you over that 1,000 or more, but that'll come. That'll happen. Hey, we should be able to get you to 1K. I will say this, that somebody, for the life of me, I can't remember who, my comic list channel, according to emails that I get that track these things, between people on Facebook and Twitter and email subscriptions, there's like 6,000 people subscribed to comic lists through all these different services. However, if I say, hey, here's a YouTube channel I think you'll like, I've discovered it means nothing to them. They not a single one of them actually subscribe. It doesn't boost anybody's subscriber rate. So I can't help you with that. Yeah, it's amazing. They literally are focused on one thing. Tell me what comic books are coming out this week. If you ask them to do anything else, you're going to get crickets.
But why wouldn't they want to subscribe so that way they know when a new video comes out and see it?
I have no idea, because if somebody tells me, I would rather subscribe and change my mind later, because I forget things. So I will go ahead and subscribe, and then if I start seeing the videos and I say, I don't know, maybe either I'll ignore it or unsubscribe or whatever. But I'd rather go ahead and subscribe to somebody, like you said, to get them up to that number. And then if later on I think I need to clean out my subscriptions, I guess I could, but honestly I don't. It's
yes.
you'll get there. You'll get to
Mariska, YouTube will do that. So if I get say 10 subscribers in a day, they'll take 2 or 3 thinking that maybe it's bot accounts.
Oh, wow.
And it's so weird because I've even been unsubscribed from my personal account, and it's really? What the hell?
That's messed up.
Oh, she's calling my boy to put bulbs in.
Okay. Oh, good. It sounded worse than just needing bulbs in there. Sound like there were going to be fisticuffs
I don't want
in
her
the background.
climbing on anything. She's already fell. She was looking for a funnel a month ago, and she slipped and fell, hit the countertop, had 2 black eyes. And
Oh,
I'm like,
no.
what the hell did you do? I'm like, Graham, you can't be doing that.
Yeah. But you know what? We understand that. But I guarantee you, when I get to that point, I'm going to be just like somebody that age who doesn't want to give up any of that.
Yeah.
Because it's hard, you
You want to just be self-sufficient.
Yes, and you know what? Everybody eventually is not going to be as self-sufficient as they are now because they get older. They need, everybody needs some help from somebody. I mean, I'm thankfully only at the point where occasionally I have to go to my son to open something, or to like twist this tighter than I can do because I've typed for so many years.
Now,
I've
does
lost.
your son live with you?
Yes, my son lives with me. Yes.
Awesome.
Yep. Yeah, it's nice. I like having another human being. Granted, don't tell him. Nobody tell him. He can be annoying, but I love him, and I'm glad he still lives here.
It happens.
Yeah, he's 20, so he does 20-year-old things. I find shoes.
I know how I was at 20, so.
And it could be worse. It could be so much worse.
Exactly.
There's no criminal behavior. There's nothing really seriously bad. It's just like, why are these socks here? Why is this mess here? Why was this left out of the refrigerator all night? That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or I have to remind him, we both go to our doctor twice a year just for checkups. They just like to see us twice a year. So we have to get blood work done. Well, I have to spend a week every day for a week reminding him, don't eat anything, go get your blood work. And it took till
you need to remind me because I gotta go get my blood work done.
And I know it's not fun. Like, you have to wait in line. He discovered he didn't make an appointment, but the place takes appointments, and they're pointless. They're pointless appointments because you're still waiting behind all the other people that were there before you showed up.
Exactly.
But you just got to get it done.
I have to go and get 3 vials because they have to test for my seizure meds to see the level. Yeah. They want me to go because I take it in the morning. They want me to go before I take my medicine to check the levels without the medication, even though they're extended release. And then my gynecologist put 7 different tests out, and I'm like, great. All right, I already have to go 3 times a month. But
that's
I haven't made the appointment yet.
I can see why you might want to put that off. That's a lot. It's ours are much, much simpler. Literally, the only thing they're going to tell him is that his vitamin D is low because he stopped taking the vitamin D they told him to take.
Oh, that's what I got to take every day too.
Yeah, they nabbed us both on that. And with me, it's been fine. In fact, when I go to the doctor a couple of weeks after getting the blood taken, we have an agreement that I will ask her no more than 3 questions. As in, I used to come in with a long list of, well, what about this? What about that? And she stopped me one time and said, you're healthy. You are not only healthy for somebody your age, you're just generally healthy. So you cannot.
But you want to get it checked out just to make sure,
Yes, but everything I was bringing up was not anything. It was just, well, I've been feeling that, or this is happening, and it's always, if it was really bad, there'd be more symptoms. Kind of like you get a pain and you think, oh gosh, I don't know is it a heart problem? Is it something? And it's like, no, it's gas, or your back hurts or something else. It's your kidneys are fine, your heart is fine, everything's fine. So she makes me limit my requests to a certain number so that we're not there all day. And also, she's not giving me 5 to 10 referrals to places that are going to tell me there's nothing wrong with you. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Mariska, when it's a controlled, they need a new prescription every single time. And they have to call the doctor, make sure the doctor was the one to prescribe it. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Control, what does that mean? Controlled substance?
Controlled medication, for instance, narcotic? Pain medication. If you get Percocets, Vicodin.
Yes.
They have to make sure that it's a legit prescription from the doctor.
They he had his wisdom teeth taken out, and one of the things was a prescription painkiller, and I I had to show my ID at least twice because it was a narcotic. And so they had to make sure, even though it wasn't for me, they had to have something on record as to who brought in the prescription and who walked out the door with that narcotic, I guess in case something went wrong, like I was, I don't know, selling them to somebody or something like that.
Yep. Or you were taking it instead of him, kind of thing.
Yes, yeah, which, he thankfully barely needed them. He needed them for like a day or two and he was fine.
Yeah. Yep. Usually getting teeth pulled aren't that bad.
We got his wisdom teeth early. The dentist, in fact, we didn't even get them as early as we were supposed to, but the dentist kept nagging me saying, you don't want to wait until they're an issue. So finally this year we did it. And yes, it was super quick. I'm telling you, it took him 30 minutes to get all 4 teeth out.
Yep.
And his mom went with me. And then not only was here.
Did they put him under?
It wasn't totally under. It was Twilight something or other. It wasn't
Twilight
the movie
sedation.
Yeah, it
Yep.
wasn't. No sparkly vampires were involved. But
That's what I used to do for work. I went to school for dental assisting and hygiene. I did that for a long time, but what happened was I ended up having a seizure in the dental chair assisting, and it's really a liability in that sense. So
yeah,
that's kind of why I stopped.
Yeah, and I will say this, born in the 60s, so my first memory of dentists were in the 70s. It's wildly different now than it was then.
With all the new technology, all of that.
The dentist I knew in the 70s did their best, I hope, but it seems like the dental industry back then found the cruelest, most sadistic people they could, because everything they did, every cleaning, everything was so painful. And when my kids started going to the dentist we use, they came back and they never complained. And I said, well, everything they've ever had at the dentist has been so simple and relatively pain-free. And I mean, the wisdom teeth, yeah, the aftermath was painful.
Yeah.
And again, it was great. His mom took care of all the bloody stuff.
The gauze, all of that.
She's good at that. I turn pale. I may as well just lay down flat if I'm seeing somebody bleed, because I'm going to go down. I can't handle it. But she was great with it. And I was the one who went to the Walgreens and got the prescriptions and stood in line waiting for all that. And she even took him to her mom's house and let him be there a couple of hours.
Yeah.
So yeah,
16, girl, that's early to get wisdom teeth out.
Wow. But apparently the earlier the better. I waited until I was quite the adult.
Well, some people's wisdom teeth don't come in until they're 18, 20. Yeah. It really depends.
And I think, his showed up just before 18, and they really wanted them out then, and we waited until 20, but it worked well. Again, super fast. Pain wasn't, a couple of days, he was pretty much over it. It went really well. Oh, before I forget, the Windows phones, those were our first cell phones. There was a day where I was told we all need cell phones. I was like, okay. And I looked into
the big Nokias.
Yes, Nokia Windows phones, and they were wonderful with the live tiles. They were just the prettiest phones. They worked really well. They were not expensive, and then Windows just gave up on them. It's like, really?
Oh, so she said they saw that there was no way they could grow in. My mouth was too small, so they had to go in through the gums. Oof, girl, that hurts.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me walk this cat to her dish. You can talk.
That.
Yeah, she wants me to walk her to her dish so that she's like a little baby.
That's nice. That's very helpful of you.
Yeah, you can talk though. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'll talk more about teeth. With my son, I don't think it was the size of his mouth, but the fact that we had paid good money to get his teeth straightened with braces, and you don't want that to get messed up. And also, he did have a sideways one, so they really wanted that out before it caused more issues. So yeah, the younger you get him out, probably the better, because it's going to be easier, the healing's better, and you're just avoiding all that other stuff. I'm just kind of looking at the chat, see if anything pops up here while I'm in total control of this channel. It's awesome. That didn't last
She's
long.
easy. I walk her to her dish, and then like as soon as she starts to eat, I can walk away. But usually I have her dish in the bedroom, so that way it's not so bad. But we put it in. Technically, we have 2 bedrooms here, so we have the spare bedroom across the hall, which we made into our living room.
Yep.
So I put it in there thinking it would be easier. But yeah, now I got to walk in there now.
That's all right.
Yeah, it's okay. She's my little baby. She's not as bad as the 4-year-olds that run around crazy.
This is true. You're always, the 4-year-olds are probably a lot less predictable than your cat, who's, got a certain number of things that they're going to want you or need you to do, and then they're good.
Oh, God. So today we went out for recess, and they have like those bars that you can hang from.
Yeah.
And they're not tall enough for the big one, which is not that like far off the ground. So I put one of them up there. And of course, every single kid wanted to be put up there. And there's 18 of them. So I was like, listen, you get on there one time. I'm only lifting you up once. I'm sorry. And then they kept coming to me. Miss Jackie, can you put me on, Miss Jackie? I'm like, no, you already were on one time. I said, if I do it again, then everybody else is going to want it. And it's not happening. But they're good kids. Right now, I'm hopefully staying in room 9 for a while, but as a caregiver, they're gonna, if another class needs me, I'm gonna go there. So
is this a public school, or is it
it's a pre-K school? So the whole school is pre-K kids.
Got it. Okay.
Which is actually pretty awesome, and I'm glad that I got in. It's a great school. The kids are great. I used to do more 5th grade, and honestly, I prefer the pre-Kers.
Yeah. The 5th graders are probably at that point where, well, I mean, for me,
they're exploring. They're exploring each other's bodies, all of that.
Yeah. I don't remember that at 5th grade, but
they're a little bit more adventurous at that age.
Okay. All I was going to say was that for me, that if I remember correctly, it's like the end of elementary, and then when I was at that age, you'd go to junior high school and then high school, and I think I'm not quite sure. I think the years are different. I only had 3 years of high school, and now I think kids have 4 years of high school. So they may just
4 years. Hey, Jessica.
But yeah, I would think that kids, the age group you have now would be easier if they're doing that at 5th grade. Yeah. I wouldn't want to.
Oh, yeah. I caught a pair underneath the stairs one day after school, and they were exploring. And I'm like, yeah, no. I got to talk to your parents, because you cannot be doing this at 5th grade.
Yeah.
I mean, the internet doesn't help. I mean, I grew up, high school was when the internet really got big, so we didn't have that at that age. But now that they have it at such a young age, and the parents give them tablets and things like that to keep them occupied.
Yeah.
And though they have parental controls, these kids are so goddamn smart that they get around parental controls.
Yes, they'll figure it out. That was one of the arguments that I had. The oldest kid, I think we had picked, we kind of pre-decided what the proper age for phones and first computers and all that would be.
Yeah.
And I am pretty sure we broke the age agreement every time. So they got them sooner than we'd agreed to. But I remember the oldest one got a laptop, very first laptop. And I had said, that's fine, but I do not think this child should be allowed to have it in their room.
Yeah.
If they want to use
it. I agree.
Yeah. I said they're not old enough and mature enough to use it without somebody. It's not like we're going to sit there and watch them, but if they're out here with other people, they will be less likely to get into stuff or say stuff or do stuff that we don't want them to do.
Yep.
because we could walk by and see it. Or if we walk by and suddenly they're hiding things, you'll know something's up.
Call it corn.
And
my boyfriend's like, we're watching porn. I just said the P word now. Corn videos. I'm like, yeah, some of them do. I'm like, can't say the P word. We call it corn.
Okay, yeah.
YouTube does not like certain words.
Okay, yeah, especially.
Actually, Twitch doesn't like a lot more, and I'm streaming to Twitch.
Oh.
Stop saying the P word.
He just
said he said the C word.
I don't know. Well, I'll just.
When do you watch that? Because I'm here with you all the time.
I haven't. I don't.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Though, if you did, it wouldn't matter.
Yeah. Why, you wouldn't care?
I wouldn't care. Why would I care? Do it up if you want to do that. Do it up.
Okay, that could be an entirely whole nother conversation right there.
Oh yeah,
I could have any number of questions about that, but yeah, I got outvoted somehow, and the laptop got to go to the bedroom, and I remember still continuing that argument for a while. And I think the answer that I was given by the child was that they were smart enough that they wouldn't get into any kind of trouble, and I had to explain.
They were smart enough to get into trouble at that age.
Yeah, I had to explain it had nothing to do with how smart you are.
Well, most kids too, especially with Covina. I mean, they were doing online learning with all this technology, computers, tablets. So, I mean, they all had one. They all had to have one to do school.
Yeah. We went through that. My son graduated from high school. His last year was mostly at home. And his graduation was wild. If he was 2, gave him my phone.
2?
Yeah. See, they figure it out. And it's not just because the kids are smart, but the people that make the phones and the devices and then all the operating systems on them, they want to get people hooked on them as early as possible. So if it's
more money in their pocket.
Yes. So if it's intuitive for us, it's equally intuitive for that 2-year-old who will figure out, my dog can figure this out, that if he moves this or that, this will happen. You can teach animals how to do stuff like that. Kids absolutely on their own will look at these screens. If I put my finger here and this happens, I'm going to keep doing that. Oh, yeah. They'll figure it out. Ooh,
village meeting.
That sounds fun. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds.
Neither
awesome.
do I. I'm assuming like maybe like a homeowners kind of meeting in the neighborhood.
Nice.
Or like a condo complex kind of meeting.
There you go.
Okay. But have fun, Lisa. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah.
I mean, most parents will give these kids cell phones and tablets just to occupy them.
Right. Don't bother me. Go play with the phone. I had a 4-year-old
who plays Minecraft in my classroom, and I'm like, "How do you know what Minecraft is? You're 4."
Yep.
She's like, "Oh, I play it all the time." I'm like, "God, girl, like that's something." I mean, it is made for younger kids, but still not 4 years old.
Yep. And thankfully, with my son, I've never had any of those issues because I explained to him early on that there's going to be a lot of things because he's younger than me that he can do better than me and that he's going to understand better than me because, if he told me about, I don't know, current music or something like that, I probably would no clue what he's talking about. But I explained to him, you will never, ever outwit me when it comes to computers and the internet. I will be your equal or best you every time. So don't ever think that you're going to be able to get away with something on that computer or any other device in this house.
Yeah.
You never will. And I wasn't just saying it, it was true. And so he never really crossed that line. To the point where, now I couldn't log into his computer, but he's also 20. But up until he was 18 or so, I could log into his computer anytime I wanted to.
And look at the history, all of that.
Yeah, didn't need to, but he knew I could. And so understanding that, he didn't act crazy on the computer, and he still doesn't, as far as I know. But I've also explained to him, I work from home for both jobs. You don't want to mess up my internet connection by doing something stupid, and the FBI or the police is knocking on my door, and something goes horribly wrong because of something I didn't even do. Don't do that. I'm the one paying the bills. Just if you have to do something crazy like that, just go do it somewhere else. But don't do it. But don't do it here for sure. But yeah, I never had those issues with him. Again, thankfully, it was much smoother with him. I didn't have to worry about him. But it was, yeah. I've been on the internet since the early 1990s, so I've
Yep.
seen a lot of crazy and stupid stuff, and I've probably done a lot of crazy and stupid stuff. And so yeah, it bugs me too when they just hand the kid the device to keep them busy and don't bug me. It's like, oh my goodness, you have no clue because
Well,
you're
when
doing
I
it.
worked at the chiropractor, a lot of kids at even very, very young ages, they call it tech neck because they're always staring down at a screen, that
Yep.
they're screwing up their spinal cord, and they need stuff to elevate it up. And I mean, they don't know any better, but these parents aren't aware of it. If you don't go to a chiropractor, you don't know this stuff.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of events at schools and stuff like that to inform these parents. And I mean, a lot of them are having growth issues. They're having spinal issues. A lot of them are having scoliosis, which was not a common thing. And now it is because of this.
Yep. Oh yeah, I can believe it. Believe me, I even looking at my own posture, I can tell. I've been sitting down and I don't have carpal tunnel, but I still have to wear little things on the arms. I've got a
Yep.
variety of them. I've got some for when I'm sleeping. I've got different ones on different desks and areas, just to when the pains come, because I've been typing. I was telling the ex mother-in-law uh, about, all of a sudden one day both my thumbs just started hurting, and I was trying to explain to them, well, why would your thumbs just start hurting? It's like, well, because I'm typing all the time.
Oh, yeah. And
If
your
I'm
wrist. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm not typing right now because I'm talking to you, but usually I'm typing away on this, and I spend 8 hours in that office typing over there, working the main job, and so everything I'm doing is typing. So yeah, it has a physical toll on you if you don't take a break. So
Also, some really good advice. When I worked at the chiropractor office, even for myself, because I was a receptionist, those exercise balls, those are good to sit on and just move your hips back and forth. It's also good because you don't have a back, so it makes you sit up straighter. And they also have what they call these wobble. They're kind of like cushions, but they're harder, and they're wobble cushions where you sit on them and you put your hips back and forth. One, it's keeping you moving, but it's also helping your posture and keeping that lower back pain-free.
Okay. Now it's not going to be a case where that ball's just going to explode underneath me.
Oh, no.
No.
They're made for you to even like lay on it. They have like 500-pound weight limits. So.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, no.
Pounds. Yeah. In fact, this year, all that weight that I'd put on, like everybody did while they were trapped in their homes because of an illness that was going around, that's still going around, thanks to semi. I just lost the word. What's the diet? Keto, a sort of almost keto diet, where it was like less carbohydrate, just no bread, no sugar, no.
Keto is a hard diet to follow, but that's awesome.
Yes, but you actually, if you do it, if you limit the number of calories and you do up the fat and protein and lower the carbohydrates, at least for me, yeah, I was hitting a point where I was losing like a pound a week, and got down to, it's not really a reasonable shape. I need to do something with that shape, but the number of pounds is where it ought to be. I'm no longer fat or obese, Technically, I think, depending on who you ask, I should probably lose more. But I think right now what I need to do is get back to the yoga and turn what's left of me into a different shape. But yeah,
Yeah.
the keto stuff, again, it wasn't super strict. I wasn't crazy. And I am at the point where I can sneak in, you know, like a piece of bread here and there and something like that. But yeah, eggs, mayonnaise. Oh man, hard boiled eggs and mayonnaise. Ate a lot of those. That was
Oh,
it's good
I mean,
stuff.
I love hard boiled eggs and mayonnaise, but I don't think I could do keto.
Yeah, well, some. I mean, I've had some people have told me they've tried it and it just doesn't. Unable to.
Yep. It really
Okay.
depends on the person and
Yeah.
their willpower and all of that.
Yes. And my son's got the opposite problem. He's taking stuff to gain weight
Yep.
because he feels like he's too skinny because
That's
he
my
is
boyfriend too.
yeah.
He always is way skinny.
Yeah.
And he's looking into getting the weight gainer as well.
Yeah, he got some kind of powder that somebody recommended on Amazon, and I bought him a bunch of peanut butter and bread and all that kind of stuff. And he's like doing the other direction. He's gaining about now let me ask you this. You're a professional YouTuber. So I'm going to
Yep.
ask you this question. That question or not question, that statement you just flashed up there.
Yep.
My first instinct is to ask why. But the better part
I
of my
can tell you
brain.
why right now. She's
wait a
on
minute.
a lot of medication.
Okay.
And I can guarantee the medication she's on regulates her weight and actually makes it gain weight. That's the same
Yes.
thing that happened to me. I was 120 pounds my whole life. The second I started getting on my seizure medicine, I
Yep.
gained 30 pounds in 1 month just from my medicine.
Yeah. I know somebody that their depression medication did the same thing, where they needed
Yep.
that. That was very important. They took it, but taking that made them gain weight, and so they have to fight really hard to lose that weight.
To lose the weight. Yeah.
But the medicine naturally put the weight on them. It's very. It's like I know that there's a connection. I don't understand the connection as to why this medication essentially for your brain would then also tell your body get heavier, but it's exactly the way it worked. Yeah.
Yep.
Man.
Yeah, medication and a lot of pain, and a full-time wheelchair user.
Yeah.
Has a lot of restrictions. Yes. Yep. I can go like, not that this is good, but I can go a couple days without actually eating. And you would think I would lose weight, and I can't. Like, it's a lot harder to lose weight because of the medicine, but
Yeah.
I have lost weight because of it, which is a good thing.
And yes, the diabetic thing, I've seen that too in some people where that once they got on the diabetes medication, they struggled with weight gain, which doesn't help the diabetes. So yeah, it's crazy.
Which they're mostly the fillers is what causes the weight gain. And you would think that they would substitute a different filler to help that so it doesn't happen, especially with the diabetes medicine.
Right. You would think that. And again, you get, or I get used to, we're in the 21st century. So you just kind of assume, surely we will come up with all these great things that won't do this. Somebody will create a diabetes medication that won't cause other issues and all that. And yet it doesn't seem to happen. I'm since we're talking medicine, you're supposed to, unless you have a reason to get one earlier, you're supposed to get your first colonoscopy at the age of 50.
Yep.
I put mine off for 5 years. Everybody had a horror story about it, top to bottom. The stuff you drink to get ready for it will be awful. You're going to have the worst 2 or 3 days ever.
Oh, geez.
Well, and I will tell you this again, it's sort of like the dental thing. It was fantastic. Nothing bad happened from getting prepared, eating. Yeah, now 45. There you go. And yeah, I recommend it for everybody anytime because the preparation was fine. Nothing horrible happened. It was not painful or disgusting or whatever. Yes, you had to limit what you were eating, and that last day you didn't eat anything. Well, you know what? Again, I know it's harder for some people than others, but you actually can go that last day without consuming anything. You'll be really hungry, going into the procedure, but I felt great. It was like getting cleaned out was wonderful. And then the procedure itself, I mean, they knock you out and they do their thing and then they wake you up.
Yeah,
It's
but
like,
it's the pain afterwards.
I didn't have any pain afterwards. What pain was there?
Really?
Where's the pain? Yeah, where's the pain coming from?
Your butthole.
I'm telling you, my butthole felt great. My butthole didn't know the difference.
Good.
Yeah, I guess maybe I had a special circumstance, but or maybe the people here in Lake City just know how to go into somebody's butt without hurting them.
That's true. I mean, I had so I had an IUD, and I actually just took it out in July, and they don't do anything. They don't put you under, none of that. And I do know that lady that I had, she pushed that thing in as far as she could. She clamped it open as far as she could. And it was the most excruciating pain I have ever felt. And after I was done, I was like, never again. Never. I don't care what happens. Never again.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally it's not even a complaint. It's more of a suggestion. The only two suggestions I would have made was, one, I had gotten the advice on the day before you don't eat to limit what you eat. And the people that were doing this didn't say that to me. It was somebody else. So they were going to have me eat anything I wanted the day before. You just don't eat and drink the liquid to completely clean you out. And somebody said, no, like have just chicken breast and rice and eat very little. And that helped. And also, as they were waking me up, they weren't 100% done when they woke me up. So as they're waking me up, I felt them exit. Now, it didn't hurt. It's just a little weird. It's like, I didn't really want to be awake for that part and be reminded of exactly where they were and what they were doing. But yeah, for me, I'm sorry if it was painful for other people, but my goodness, come here, come to North Central Florida, and we'll treat you right. We
Coffee said she had her first one earlier this year and
slept through it.
It wasn't awful, no pain at all.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. They found again, I guess nobody really wants to know. They found a couple of polyps. Apparently, it's what they do every time. They remove them. They're no big deal, and they'll see me again in 5 years. I hope they remind me though. I don't think they gave me a card or something with an appointment, but apparently when I hit 60, then I'll get to do this again. And I'm told by my ex-mother-in-law that there's a certain age where they stop doing it unless they really think they need to, because those people are so old, they don't like to knock them out for anything.
Yeah.
So I think when she hit 80, they said no more unless like you have a condition and we have to go in there and look around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and Peach, the IUD, the going in wasn't so bad, but the coming out was very bad.
That's yikes.
But I had to get an IUD. So because of my epilepsy medicine, if I took regular birth control or got the shot, it goes through the bloodstream, where IUDs stay just in the ovaries. So it was better for me to have an IUD than get on like a pill form or a shot going through the blood. So.
Yes. And the home test thing, I remember, I still see the commercials, the little cheerful cartoon fellow. Yeah. The cartoon box.
I would not want a home test.
Well, it's one of those things where the way my doctor, whatever kind of doctor this is, the buttologist or
a colonoscopist.
Colonoscopist, I can't pronounce that. The colon doctor. The doctor in charge of colons, they explained to me that they prefer to do real colonoscopies. And
because you don't know if you're doing it right. You don't know if you're going to get it all done. Then you're sending it in. That, I mean, it might be reliable, but you'd rather go to a professional.
Yeah, and also they need me to do a real colonoscopy at least once. Now, when it comes around in 5 years, maybe I can take a dump in a box and mail it off. Though I'd hate to be the mailman or the UPS person that has to deliver.
By the way, there's shit in the box.
Because it literally is that. It's like there's no, I don't know how they hide that. Because they have to say where it's going. So surely looking at that, at some point they figure out they're delivering defecation to some location. And then to have that job. Here's today's delivery of poop. And my job is to test poop all day. I mean,
I would not want that job.
Yeah. It's how do you, I don't know. How do you even tell people that's what you do? Well, what's your line of work? I test poop.
Most actually like what they do, and that's what's crazy about it. But hey, the more the better, because at that point there's not a lot of people that probably want to be in that position.
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, do what you got to do. I mean,
maybe it's a fun job. It may be it's a great work environment. I don't know. Some jobs that I used to think that were neat, like I remember growing up, I thought a pharmacist it looked like a cool job. It made it sound like you were this professional that knew all this great stuff. And these days, you end up working like midnight to 8 in the morning in a 24-hour Walgreens or something. It's just not, it doesn't seem that special anymore. Plus everybody that comes in, to them, they're the most important person in the world, and they want to know where their stuff is and why aren't you done with it? It's like, yikes. I don't think I'd want to do that. So maybe checking poop for stuff is great. I don't know, but it just doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun.
Chronic does pharmacy. She's a pharmacy tech. She actually loves her job. Their company is part of the Suboxone program, which is people coming off of the pain drugs like Percocets or even the D word. And those are more difficult people to deal with, but she loves her job and she actually moved up pretty fast in her position. So I'm very proud of her.
Okay. Excellent.
They know a lot about medication and they really can do wonders for people.
Yeah. Yeah. And also it depends, like there's the pharmacy I go to isn't a big chain. There's literally only 2 of them. And so they're not open 24 hours. And it's a lot more cheerful of a place than a Walgreens or a CVS. And so I actually drive a longer distance to go there because I like dealing with them more than I do.
I have the same thing.
Yeah.
So she said it's called a gastroenterologist.
Yes.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
And Coffee said you just poop in the box and send it.
It seems that's what they say. That's what the ad says. You just And people were telling me, oh, you should just convince your doctors to let you do that. And it's like, well, they have a good point. A real colonoscopy is better, and I've never done it. So they really need to look inside of me at least once, whether I have symptoms or not, because you could have no symptoms. And if nobody's ever really looked, who knows? And it's, sometimes things are working okay and you just want, like I get my AC checked twice a year. It always works, but I still like having somebody come out and say, yep, it's still working, because then I stop thinking about it. And I stop saying, oh gosh, is it going to break down or what's happening?
Yeah. What you see in one poop, you've seen it all. It depends. These kids that poop in school, man, I'm telling you, it gets bad sometimes.
Yes. Poop's a good indicator if something has gone wrong. Cause it's funny. When I walk moose, I guess they could still call them fanny packs, though it's never really near my fanny, so I'm unclear as to why it's called a fanny pack.
Yeah.
But it has bags and it has treats, because when he goes out and he does his 1 and his 2, he knows that he's going to get treats when he comes back in, but he'd like some treats right there out in the neighborhood too. Plus, if I need to distract him or potentially distract some other animal that pops up, I've got treats. But
Of course.
I've got the bags, but I always look just for a second. I always just take a look at the poop before I bag it to see, is there anything funny going on there? Is
Yep.
there anything is there some food I gave him that his body doesn't like? Is it a weird color? Is it too hard, too loose? Poop will really tell you how healthy you are if you pay attention to it.
Yes. And even so I know the cats, it's a litter called Pretty Litter.
Ooh.
And
oh, yeah.
it changes colors due to the different issues your cat might have.
Interesting. Now, I'm going to go here in a second, but before I go, I just noticed that what I just put up on the TV is reflecting in the window behind me.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Well, I'm curious. Can anybody?
Are you watching wrestling?
Okay, I'm very good. I was about to say, can anybody guess what I'm watching? I guess it's kind of obvious, but can you guess?
Well, what is it? E or F?
No,
WWE.
It used to be WWF, and then some other animal company had.
Yep,
also was
Worldwide
WWF.
Foundation.
Yeah, so they just gave it up. They just changed it to WWE. They didn't even fight
Which they are in Stamford, Connecticut, their headquarters.
That is where their headquarters is.
Yep.
However, this is not WWE, so there's no prize here. Can anyone guess? It's not that hard, given that it's live. Can anyone guess what wrestling I am watching?
Well, it's not Monday Night Raw, so
You're
it
correct,
has to be
because it's Wednesday. It's not. You can't fool me there. I know which day of the week it is. I'm not that far gone.
I haven't watched wrestling in a minute. It's got to be the regular, like the bigger wrestling.
It's a big company, but it's not as big as WWE by any means.
ECW?
ECW doesn't exist anymore, but yeah.
Oh, they don't? Oh my gosh.
They haven't existed since like 2000, in early 2000. They sold themselves, much like I sold myself to Go Collect. They sold themselves to WWE. They may have gotten a little bit more money than I did too, because they probably had more value at the time. Yeah. They don't exist. It's that wrestling show. You're close. You're very good, Rose. It is that wrestling show that happens on Wednesday nights. But
I'm trying to think. It's on USA. I do know that.
Actually, this is on TBS.
SmackDown.
No, SmackDown is WWE, and that's Fridays.
Okay.
So this is Wednesday. CM Punk is sort of with them.
Is it WWE Next?
No, NXT. No, NXT used to be on Wednesdays, and this is the program that convinced WWE to put NXT on a different night because this show was getting better ratings. And yes, CM Punk technically is still with them, but he kind of caused some issues, and other people caused some issues. And
AEW?
AEW, yes, it is.
Okay.
Good job,
I was trying
Pope,
to think of all the ones.
The Pope.
Oh, and
not
Pope
just
got
any
it.
old Pope.
There we go.
Yeah, he's the Pope. That's bold.
He is the Pope. Yep.
Yeah, because there is a Pope in Rome that I'm told about. Plus, I believe Nick Rekieta.
He is a Pope as well.
He is. I've seen the Pope hat on him. So, and there's been, I think there was a time where there was two popes. I saw a movie about that once.
Yes, there was.
Yeah, like one Pope didn't die or anything. He just sort of stepped down, but technically
I want to say Pope John Paul II, and then the new Pope, what is it, Benedict, came in while he was still Pope.
Right. So technically, like one's a little more Pope than the other, but they're both technically still popes. It's kind of a funny thing, but I guess it helps. Like it takes the heat off of you. You've got a little backup. Like you've always got a backup Pope, and that's not a bad thing to have. If popes are important to you, having two popes is probably better than one.
Yeah, and I know Pope John Paul died. It was before he passed. That's when Benedict came in, and then he passed shortly after. Yes.
Yeah. But yes, this AEW wrestling, it got started by some independent wrestlers and some people from WWE who weren't happy there. And this, for a couple of years, has been what the cool place to go wrestle. As in, if you weren't happy in WWE, come over here
Yeah.
and you'll be happy here. Well, two things have blown them up. Oh gosh. Okay. I think that's a compliment. I'm going to take it as such. I'm not sure, but
I would take it as a compliment.
I'm going full compliment. I'm just going to have faith in it. They AEW's run into two big roadblocks this year. One, Vince McMahon has stepped down from WWE.
Really? I didn't even know that.
Well,
what is Stephanie McMahon now in charge? His daughter?
She's high ranked, but actually, I can't think of his real name, but Triple H.
Yep.
Is he's essentially in charge. He's doing all, and he's the one who made NXT the big deal that it was and made it a cool place to work. Yeah. And now AEW can't say, well, you'll be unhappy in WWE because you don't have Vince McMahon in all of his nonsense.
Your every freaking move.
You've got Triple H, who is a little, he's not a super young guy, but he's in my age.
Because he was a wrestler, so he knows the game.
Yeah, and he's a little more modern and a little more wrestler friendly and a little less routine. And people are already talking about how it's so much better to work there without the weird, erratic Vince McMahon decisions. Paul Levesque, there you go, a.k.a. Triple H. So that's there. And then AEW, they mentioned CM Punk here in the chat room. He was this big deal that came into AEW because he had been out of wrestling for 7 years, and now he's back into wrestling. And so, wow, what a big steal for AEW. They convinced him to come back.
Yeah.
And they had a pay-per-view because they still have legitimate pay-per-views where you spend $50 or whatever.
Of course, yeah.
Which I'm happy to pay because I enjoy it. And they had one of their big 4 pay-per-views, and afterwards they have what they call a media scrum, which sounds disgusting, but basically it's just them sitting at a table talking to wrestling dirt sheet people. And CM Punk just loses his mind. He starts talking about a lawsuit that he had with some other wrestler years ago and how people are saying he got that guy fired from AEW and he didn't. And he wouldn't stop talking about it. And then he started rattling on about how the wrestlers who are executive vice presidents in AEW don't know what they're doing. They don't have a clue. They're making horrible decisions. And he may be right, but it's not what you say to reporters who are going to preserve it forever. And then when he's all done blowing up in front of these reporters, he goes back to his dressing room, and those EVPs, who are wrestlers, go see him, and a fight ensues, like a real fight, not a wrestling fight, but actual blows. People are getting bitten. It's just a big old mess. Ooh. So CM Punk was injured. He just won his championship back, and then he gets injured again in that match. So he was going to have to drop the title anyway, but he's also basically suspended because of the fight he got into and the nonsense he was saying. All the wrestlers that walked into his dressing room just got suspended. And some of these are like major attractions for this company. So number one, they're no longer the guaranteed cool place to be a wrestler at because WWE is more cool now or less uncool because Vince has stepped down because Vince couldn't keep his hands off of people. He seemed to be just doing things he shouldn't do with people, female people, for a long period of time and paying them millions of dollars to not talk about it.
Yeah.
Potentially company money, but I'm not saying that, but it could be WWE money that he was spending to keep these people quiet, which may or may not be a legal issue. Yeah, there you go. And then number two, a bunch of their major wrestlers, including CM Punk, are just gone. We don't know if they're ever coming back, or if they come back, what will the situation be? So yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess at AEW. They could be the next WCW, but not in a good way, in all the worst ways, by just blowing up and disappearing.
Yep. And Peach, Vince McMahon, you said, yeah, he had a lot of drama. That was mostly caused for the show. So that way they had storylines. And then Lisa wants to know if you watch the theatrical value. Like for the theatrical value.
Like, why do I watch wrestling?
Yeah.
I guess the shorter, I'm bad at short answers, but the short answer is yes. I enjoy it. I understand that the end result is predetermined, that there are rare moments where they have to make a different winner because something goes wrong or an accident happens, but they know who's going to win going into the match. Like tonight's 2-hour episode, weeks ago, probably, at least days ago, they knew who was going to win every match. They knew exactly what was going to be on, how long the matches should be, roughly speaking, what everybody's going to say. It may not be scripted completely, but they kind of know what's going to happen because they have to make 2 hours of live television. And this is not what is the real fighting, not boxing, the MMA. It's not MMA where you spend however many dollars on a pay-per-view and the guy knocks him out in 10 seconds and you're done. You just can't do that on live TV. So I get it. It's not that it's fake because they are really hitting each other, but it's predetermined. But at the same time, knowing who's going to win, they have to make it look as real and as interesting as possible. And oh boy. And somebody just got kicked in a bad place and I lost my train of thought. That's going to hurt. And again, I know that's not real because they're not actually going to kick them and injure their privates, but it could happen. It is. It could, but they know that's the other part. There we go, to help me get my train of thought back. Thank you. They have to make it look painful. I mean, some of it is painful. A lot of it is, but they have to make it look like they're getting punched in the mouth without really punching them in the mouth most of the time or whatever they're doing. So there's a real skill and art to it. And so if you just invest a bit of imagination, you just go along like you do with a movie or a TV show. You watch Law and Order, there are no lawyers on that show. You watch I watched Thor Love and Thunder, which is a horrible movie and please don't watch it. But you watch that. Oh God, it was just, I was so angry watching that movie. I was yelling at the TV. It was
really?
Well,
what was the movie about?
Thor Love and Thunder?
Yeah.
It's the fourth Thor movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he's it's more Thor adventures. Basically, instead of having anything about the characters you might be interested in or care about, they've invested so much in humor that everybody's an idiot and you don't believe it when the actual dramatic stuff happens. You don't care. And it makes no difference to you. And so people are saying stupid things and doing stupid stuff. And then when something emotional or dramatic is happening, it's like, what? None of this makes any sense. And I just don't even care anymore. Now I watched the latest dinosaur movie. I guess it's the 6th Jurassic Park World Universe movie. I think it's the 6th one because it's on the Peacock, and I get to watch Peacock because Comcast is our cable company.
They give it to you for free. Yep.
Yeah, so I watched it. Now I'm sure a lot of that makes no sense. I'm sure scientifically, MMA and it's wrestling too. They have a bad issue with.
But that's all real stuff where they kick, punch. That's really. Yeah. And then Hope said they're basically do choreographed moves. Yes, they're choreographed, but their fights are up to them how they're going to end up doing it.
Right, and they will, like good wrestlers will end the match where people can't talk to each other and signal each other, and actually the referees help with that too. As in, the referees will work with them. I mean, the referee is calling like 1, 2, 3 and all that, but the referee is also helping them coordinate what's going to happen. Like, wrestler 1 may help use the ref to go walk over and check on wrestler 2 and say something to them along the lines of, here's what's coming up next.
Yep.
he or she's gonna do this. But when I watch Jurassic Park, I have no clue if there's anything scientific
True.
is happening there, and I'm sure a lot of the plot makes no sense, but I'm not expecting it to. I'm just enjoying actors that
The
I like.
movie.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the movie. I enjoy the characters. All the different things that because we all know both sets of Jurassic Park world characters, the new ones and the old ones. So it's cool that they're all together in this movie. The dinosaurs are fun to watch. So if there's something dumb there, that's fine. I just want a dinosaur movie playing in the background. I'm not,
Yeah.
but a Marvel movie I'm invested in because it's a Marvel movie, and that it's yeah. I was just so angry at that. I've seen okay Marvel movies. I've seen Marvel TV shows that weren't they, there was something redeeming in them, but this movie should just be buried. They should just
Yeah.
pretend it never happened. And I'm not going to spoil it, but yeah, please, you've got better things to do than to watch it. Yeah, that was awful.
And
But
Pope,
yes,
I've actually been to live WWE matches, and it actually was not that bad. It does not look
yeah,
as fake as you think.
yeah. I've been to an NXT one in a little building here in Florida many,
Yep.
many years ago when my son was very small. We went to a WWE, and this was the funniest thing. We went to it on a Friday night here in Jacksonville, Florida, not here, but in Jacksonville, Florida. And we didn't understand, and I'm the adult in the scenario, and I didn't even get it. SmackDown at that point was not live. They taped it on Tuesdays,
Yep. Yep.
and then they showed it on Fridays. But we go to Jacksonville on Friday, and his mom is watching SmackDown, and we're all thinking she's going to be able to see us in the audience somewhere because
Oh yeah.
but it's not SmackDown is from Tuesday. It was taped somewhere in a whole nother city on Tuesday. They're live on Friday at the same time that people are watching SmackDown, but it's a different thing. So no, you're
Yeah.
not going to see us on the TV. So we finally figured that out. And then they had a steel cage match between John Cena and the Big Show. And
Ooh.
we're used to on TV the steel cage being lowered from the ceiling. And
Yep.
in this case, they built it like somebody was building a fence. They had all the pieces. They have the match just before that one, and all the wrestlers are taking a break, and all these guys
wow.
running out, putting together, and it's like, wait a minute, they're not lowering it. Well, no, because it was never up there. This is Jacksonville. They're building it in front of you. So
Yeah.
it was very different. But yeah, it to me, it was still really well done live. He was little, so he was interested in it. But no, I thoroughly enjoy it. And yeah, it takes more work than I'll ever understand to do this. And the danger they have is when they start bringing real stuff into it,
Yeah.
because I don't want the real stuff in it. The first Thor, oh yeah, people.
Everyone loved the first Thor.
That's just it. I've read bad reviews about the first Thor, but to me, it was a majestic movie. It was, wow, that's Asgard. Everything is bright and shiny and rainbowy, and it was a different planet. Well, that's fine. I don't mind it being a different planet, though it's kind of weird because it didn't appear to be round. It was literally the planet for the flat Earth people, because it appeared to be just a flat rock just floating in space with water coming off of it.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Actually, never seen them.
The Umbrella Academy?
No, Thor.
Oh, the first Thor?
No, I've never seen it.
It is worth seeing the first Thor movie. And to me, it did rush through some stuff, and it was weird seeing his eyebrows, bleached to match his blonde hair. That was unnecessary. But to me, it was really, really, I enjoyed it. It was really well done, and I'll watch it just to see the ending, which I guess since you haven't seen it, I can't spoil. But
you can spoil it. I'll still watch it.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah, I still watch movies even if they're spoiled.
Okay, I mean it's been out for a while, so it seems late to spoil it. But
yeah,
part of a major thing that happens at the end is Loki Odin is in what they call the Odin sleep, and that's not permanent, but it lasts a long time.
Yep.
And Thor, before that happened, was sent to Earth and stripped of his powers and his hammer because he was acting out. He was like a spoiled kid, and Odin said, "You need a timeout on Earth." Wow, no Marvel movies. Well, you got a lot of catching up to do.
She has not watched a lot of movies.
Wow.
She's never seen any Adam Sandler movies. I'm like, you are missing out, girl.
I never have. I've seen them though. I've never really meant to, but I've seen them because they popped up. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Okay. I'll have to make a mental note to ask about that later. But so eventually Thor gets he becomes worthy of his hammer again. He is now like full-fledged the mighty Thor again, and he and his buddies make their way back to Asgard, and Loki's up to no good. Loki is now in charge of Asgard because Odin is asleep and Thor was kicked out, and he's using this device that is at the end of the Rainbow Bridge to cause havoc on on the Frost Giant realm. He's just blown him up. It's like a giant laser from Asgard to them, and he's just demolishing them because he actually is from there. He discovered he was adopted or taken from them by Odin, and so he is like, oh, I'm not actually Asgardian. I'm not actually your son, and so he decides he's going to prove he's worthy to be the king by destroying one of their enemies. Though Odin kind of liked to have peaceful relationships, even if you didn't get along, even if you were their enemy, he wasn't aiming to fight you. So he's blowing up the Frost Giant place, and Thor shows up, and they're fighting over this. And Thor realizes that the only way he can stop this attack on the Frost Giants is to destroy the Rainbow Bridge. So he does that. Now, this means he can't go, nobody can leave Asgard. He can't go back to Earth to see Jane Foster, who he's fallen in love with. So he breaks the bridge. And so at the very end of the movie, Heimdall, who's in charge of basically standing at the end of that Rainbow Bridge and transporting people back and forth, which he no longer can do because the device is broken and the bridge is broken, he still can see other realms. And so Thor's asking him questions, and, he's basically asking about her, Jane, on Earth.
Okay.
And they show her, he's asking all sorts of questions about stuff, but his last question is about her. And it's like, how is she? And Heimdall explains, well, she's doing this, she's doing that. And ultimately what his answer is to Thor is, she's looking for you. As in, she's a scientist who now knows that these other places are real.
Oh.
And Thor never returned like said he was going to because he couldn't. But she doesn't know that. She just knows he didn't come back. So she's not upset. She thinks something has happened, and she's trying to figure out how to get to him. So you see her working with this team of people who are now, trying to take what they've learned from meeting Thor and trying to figure out how to get back to him.
Yeah.
And you hear Heimdall, who has the most wonderful voice. Oh my goodness. You just listen to him talk all day. So he's talking over that, and you just see Thor smile. Like, yep, I can't leave here. I can't get to her, but she's trying to find me. It's like, she loves me. She really loves me so much that she's spending all of her time trying to find me. And I thought, what a perfect way to end this movie.
Right? Because then it sets up for a sequel.
It sets up for a sequel, and it also shows he is kind of thinking of himself because he's saying she's in love with me, but he's not. He's thinking of her. He wants to get to her too. It's not all about him and him becoming the king of Asgard and just doing whatever he wants. He now is thinking of those people he left behind on Earth, who also are mortal and are going to die much sooner than he ever will. But he still wants to get back to them too. So yeah, I
Yeah.
thought the first Thor movie was outstanding, and I don't understand why anybody was critical of it. I thought it was great. I could see.
I've only heard good things about the first one.
Yeah, it was just, it wasn't, there was humor, but it wasn't humor to make people look like an idiot. Yet he didn't understand stuff. They have this funny scene where he wants to get a horse, and he finds in the little town that he's in, he finds a pet store. Well, he understands they sell animals, so he goes in there and seriously says, I need a horse. And the kid looks up at him and says, well, we only sell dogs and cats and rabbits. And he says, okay, I need one big enough to ride on. Now, he's not being stupid. He doesn't understand. It just, but the humor in the fourth Thor movie, it's like, oh, he's doing stupid things and messing things up and he doesn't know. It's like, no, it's been all of these years. He's been on Earth. He's been an Avenger. He's done this and that.
Yeah.
He should be getting less stupid and more knowledgeable about the universe around him. And yeah, so it's just so totally disappointing that, yeah, I'm glad I didn't see it in the theater. I sat through it once. I said I'll watch the entire thing once, but
Yeah.
I was livid. I was yelling at the TV, and every time they almost redeemed themselves and came back and gave you something worth watching, they immediately snatched it away and threw you back into the land of stupid. So
that's
yikes.
kind of disappointing, though, that the fourth one sucked that bad.
Yeah, and it makes me not weary as in tired, but weary, W-A-R-Y, of other movies that I could get excited in. Like there are other ones they've announced, like Fantastic Four is coming back, and there's two more Avengers movies. But if they keep what if they're as bad as Thor?
I heard some of the new Marvel and DC are not going to be as good as like some of the other ones, and they're not doing great in the box office or even after the box office.
Right. Yep. I can believe it. And I know the streaming service messes it up because now you don't have to buy the DVD. You can just subscribe to Disney Plus. But so that may hurt those kind of sales. But look at the Spider-Man movie that came out not that long ago. People love it.
But you would think they would do actually good with the streaming service because people have to pay for that stuff. And usually it's, for a while, not just a month.
Yes. Yeah. You're going to stick with it. So, but yeah, they can still make good movies, but I don't know. Maybe they've gone too far. Maybe they're making too much.
True. Very true.
I don't have the issue that some people have. Well, mostly don't have the issue that some people have of you're turning these characters into female versions of them, or you have you have a female Hulk, you have a black Captain America, all that. I don't personally have an issue with it. I'm not exactly enjoying the She-Hulk series, but it's not because it has a female lead.
Yeah.
It's because, like the Thor movie, they're sacrificing me being invested in those characters and those characters making sense for trying to be funny.
Well, just like we read earlier, the Little Mermaid, that's like a realistic version of the Little Mermaid, it's already doing horrible and bad reviews.
So that's not just something they're making, that's something that's out?
See, I want to say it's the trailer, but
okay.
I didn't even know about it until today.
Yes, because I stumbled onto something on YouTube, of all places, where somebody had taken, this was very confusing for me. I was watching people watching another video, and the video they're watching is the bottom half appears to be an African-American Little Mermaid, whatever her name is. And the top one was a person who looked more like the Little Mermaid I remember from the cartoons.
Yeah.
And honestly, I saw that and I thought somebody did something. Somebody broke out a gadget and turned the top Little Mermaid into the bottom one. But then I'm watching this and it's the opposite. Somebody took the bottom one and turned it into the top one. So I looked at that and I said, I'm unclear. I both get and don't get why we needed a live action Little Mermaid movie where the mermaid doesn't look like the mermaid. I mean,
yeah, she does not look like it at all. And it looks like it's in cinemas right now.
okay, in cinemas. See, I'm so out of touch. We have one theater, and if it's not a Marvel movie, I almost know. Okay, so the female Hulk thing. I mean, She-Hulk has been around since the 70s. She was
Yep.
created to preserve a copyright or a trademark, whichever one it is. As in, Marvel was afraid that somebody would create a character and call them She-Hulk or call them Spider-Woman, so they immediately came out with comics with those two characters so that nobody else could have them. And then somebody had to do something with She-Hulk, and she's actually been a fairly important character since then.
Yep.
In the Avengers and the Fantastic Four and her own series. So I have no problem with a She-Hulk series because that character wasn't just made to have a suddenly here in this year a female Hulk. But and again, I'm going to spoil this for you here. When you've got her talking to the current Hulk, Bruce Banner Hulk, and he's explaining to her that it took him a long time and a lot of science to work through the anger issues and become the Hulk that he is now, as in a
Yep.
Hulk that's not just going to break a bunch of stuff and hurt people and go crazy. The smart Hulk, the intelligent Hulk. Yes, I did like the Bionic Woman too. $6 Million Man, love that show. Some of the science there I didn't quite grasp, but like if you have a bionic arm and you're lifting something heavy, how is that not like just ripping the arm off your flesh part? Though I think there is a scientific explanation for that in terms of torque and leverage and how that would work. But and if you're running 60 miles an hour, that's fine for your bionic legs, but your entire body is moving that fast outside of any protection. Wouldn't the wind just like beat your flesh parts up?
Yeah.
But in any case, it's a fun show, and I won't question that.
It looks like the Joker was pulled from Toronto Film Festival after one screening, and it looks like the Joker is a female version.
Wait a minute. Like a sequel to the most current Joker movie? Or
it says, after having a single screening at this year's Toronto International Film Fest, the comedy film The People's Joker was pulled from the event's program. The movie was directed by Vera Drew, who is American, told a different origin for the world-famous Batman villain, much like Warner Brothers did in 2019's Joker. In this universe, however, the title character has a queen identity.
Okay.
And it's completely unlicensed by DC Comics and Warner Brothers, so it's not made by them, and it looks like it's more of an independent company.
Yeah, I use Brave as a search engine, so if I search the People's Joker, this is the sentence that pops up on something called tiff.net in events that explains that this is their explanation. An aspiring clown grappling with her gender identity combats a fascistic caped crusader in writer-director Vera Drew's uproariously subversive queer coming-of-age origin story. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to say the obvious that I may not be the demographic for this movie.
Me neither. I don't think
there may be nothing in this movie to draw me into a theater. If it even, it seems unlikely in our little local theater that at best can hold 7 movies. It seems unlikely.
I love the Joker. I love that.
Yeah, but the She-Hulk thing, he's trying to explain to her, hey, I've been a Hulk for quite a while now, and you just became a Hulk, and we didn't mean for you to become a Hulk, but here you are. And yes, you are handling it better than I was, obviously, because he was like 2 personalities and breaking things. And you seem to be keeping your personality when you become the Hulk. But still, just the same, you've got to be careful because you're really, really powerful. And she then explains to him that just by being a woman, she knows more about controlling her anger than he ever could. Now, I'm not saying that women don't have to control their anger. or that they don't get treated differently because they're women, because people get treated differently because of who they are all the time, sometimes to their benefit and sometimes not.
Yeah.
I fully understand that if I went into a Walmart and somebody thought I was trying to steal something, that I probably can explain that I wasn't, or might get treated differently than somebody else who looks different or sounds different, depending on where that Walmart may be. Because I'm
Yep.
a post-middle-aged white guy that seems pretty harmless, because I am. And so somebody might stop me and say, "Oh, no problem. You don't sound like a shoplifter. You don't look like one," whatever
Yeah.
that may mean. I get that. But this is an imaginary show. She's talking to a guy she knows already. She didn't just meet him. She knows all the stuff he's been through. And instead of saying, yes, let's learn, it becomes this lesson to him that she already is a better Hulk. And then she gets to, through all these hijinks of training, shows him she's already a better Hulk. And it's like, okay, she has nowhere to go as a character in the show because she has no issues. Her
Yes. And Lisa
her
wants to
issues
know
are,
if she turns green.
yes, she does turn green.
Okay.
Yes. And the special effects are not very good. They're not awful, but they're
And bulging muscles. Oh boy.
Yes. They're tiptoeing into Shrek. It's not quite Shrek, but it's not quite the quality of the Hulk that you would see in the movies. So
wait until she gets her period.
Now you see that I would find that interesting, as in she's young enough to still have periods. So does being the Hulk throw that off?
I would
Or
think
does it,
so.
like, does it stop them from happening, or does it make it worse? Like, that would be a great topic. That would be a wonderful episode. As in, okay, there's any number of ways you could go with that. Like, can you avoid it by becoming the Hulk, but you know that as soon as you go back to normal, it'll be like the worst one ever because you've been avoiding it as She-Hulk. And so do you change back? Yes, it's too late. I'm sure they've written all the episodes, but that would be a great episode because that's something regular Hulk can't, like, go through. He's a guy.
Yeah.
Last time I checked, guys don't have periods. So I mean, it may happen these days, but the last time So yes, that, yeah, the period is so bad that it causes her to change into the Hulk. There you go.
I think that would be a great episode.
It writes itself, but they'll never do it. But that would be great. That would be now. I mean, so far her issues have been her employer wants her to remain She-Hulk all the time because it's better for the business, and she's getting on dating apps, and she's getting more getting more answers by using her She-Hulk picture than her regular picture. And it's like, really, that's what you came up with? That seems like that's kind of demeaning, as in if she was a guy, you'd never have that story, but because she's a woman, we can talk about how she really wants to meet a guy. That seems backwards to me. That seems like 70s sitcom stuff to me, not something that would happen now.
I agree.
Give her some chocolate ice cream. Chocolate will fix anything. Oh my God, I don't even know what that word is, Lisa B.
Endometriosis.
It sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Anything with the word end in it is not good. So
yeah, right?
Do I want to know what that is? Can I end?
Wow. I can't believe these movies are doing very terribly. I've heard a lot. Oh, so the other thing they're talking about too is Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is doing really bad. Well, come on. The whole, Amber Heard situation, even though they shortened her screen time, people don't want to see it because of her.
Now, okay, John Hopkins Medicine. Let's see what they have to say. What you need to know. Ooh.
So endometriosis is often painful disorder in which tissue, similar to the tissue that normally lines the inside of your uterus grows outside your uterus. Ooh, yes.
No, yeah, like because, oh gosh. That
No,
might
thank
be,
you.
they might have to change the rating on the show for that. I think the period thing might be as far as we can go. I'm not sure we could go with this, this particular illness. Don't know about that, kids. So wait a minute, the Aquaman movie is out. Did I miss that? Hold on again. I used to be so good about knowing when movies are coming out.
I know, me
Aquaman
too.
2, and the Lost Kingdom, IMDb, 2023. Does it say expected December 25th, 2023? So it's not out yet. Now, I think it will have issues because of, obviously, like you're saying, because of Amber Heard, because,
Yep.
she had some bad publicity, like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks of bad publicity and horrible acting.
She's still getting bad publicity,
Yeah.
especially Twitter.
Yeah. But she kind of asked for it. I mean, she shouldn't be getting horrible things, but she did some bad stuff, and people saw her for who she is. And so, yeah, and really the one that's going to struggle is the Flash movie, because the guy that plays the Flash in the Flash movie, well, he's been up to some stuff too.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, DC
Well,
has some.
what's the one with Ezra Miller?
That's the Flash movie.
Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
And you can't scrub him out of that because he's not only the Flash, but he's playing two different Flashes in that movie. So you just can't CGI him out of it. You literally have to film the movie all over again. And
Yeah.
So they're rehabilitating him now. Like he said, I'm going somewhere to get better, and I'm really sorry for what I've done and said. And they're trying to clean him up now. They're doing their best. So yeah, DC's got actor problems. They both have problems, DC and Marvel.
Ezra Miller's he did a lot of bad shit. I don't think they could rehabilitate him and make that even work.
Ezra Miller. Let's Wikipedia. Born 1992. Gosh,
a lot of YouTubers have been talking about Ezra.
Yeah, if you go to Wikipedia on the contents list, he's got one little line for career, one line for personal life, and then 8 parts to controversies and legal issues. Disorderly conduct, strangling incident, arrested in Hawaii, obscenities and a physical altercation, throwing a chair. Again, these I don't know if he actually did any of this. This is what other people are saying. Oh gosh, the Rock Sioux Tribal Court order protection. He did something to some sort of activist. Oh, and apparently did something with a child. I'll leave that.
And then he supports the Me Too movement, and here he is doing crazy shit like, oh my gosh. He's also followed by members of the KKK, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation is looking into him.
Yeah, harassment allegations involving kids, Vermont farm incidents. Man, he's all over the place.
So it says also that on January 27, 2022, Miller posted a video on Instagram that seemed to threaten members of the KKK operating in North Carolina. And then in response, the Southern Poverty Law Center reported no knowledge of recent Klan activity.
Yeah.
But still, that is very crazy. Oh my God, he was in the midst of filming The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I love that movie. I didn't realize that was him. And he was pulled over in Pittsburgh for a broken brake light, and they discovered 20 grams of marijuana in his possession. Yeah, that's a little, 28 is, I believe, it's an ounce, I believe. And that's usually illegal in most states.
Yeah, so he's been doing a lot of questionable at best things. And the last line on Wikipedia here is on August 15th, 2022, the representative of Miller released a statement in which Miller apologizes for his past behavior, saying that Miller has recently, quote, gone through a time of intense crisis, unquote, and has begun treatment for, quote, complex mental health issues, unquote, to say the
Yep.
least. So that's the star of their Flash movie, which basically is filmed. I'm sure there's other things they need to do to touch it up, but
Oh,
that
yeah. And
movie
the grooming of
isn't.
children is really, really bad.
Yes, and he's been doing, again, I don't know, I don't think anybody's accusing him of anything sexual with a kid, but the grooming stuff, there's, yeah, like spending too much time with them, and I don't know. I'm not going to read all this, but yes, it's going to be hard to come out of that.
Yeah.
And
A lot of law tubers are covering the Ezra Miller incidents. I don't like, even though he's apologized and the director says there needs to be a serious intervention, like I said, I don't think there's anything he can do, even with an apology, to fix what he's done.
Yeah, it's going to be, there's so many people apparently to apologize to, and how do you explain the behavior? Are they going to have something, he has something or had something that caused him to do these things? He was addicted to something that drove him to it. I don't know.
Probably.
I've never gone through that kind of stuff, so I don't know that if somebody pumped me full of something, I would not also go crazy and have a huge thing on Wikipedia. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems more likely I would just fall asleep somewhere.
Most do, but most also do some outrageous stuff. Like, all right, it says the first step on scene, which was the perks of being a wallflower, that was the 28 grams. He had numerous public controversies, followed a series of arrests for disorderly conduct, assault charges to the 29-year-old actor who identified as non-binary. So that's a whole prejudice thing. And using they and them pronouns, which he did not want to use. He's apologized, but apparently he's seeking treatment for complex mental health issues.
Right. Yeah, that's...
It needs a lot more than that. Unfortunately, you need to change your actions, and that could take years to prove you're not the same person.
Right. And from a Warner Brothers point of view, they don't have years for him to make this all better, because they need their movies to make lots of money. And again, this is a movie that's very, very close to being finished. So they really need a somewhat stable star out there, rehabilitated. But yeah, I don't know how you come back from this. I have no clue.
Yeah. So that message from January said, look, if you all want to die, I suggest just killing yourself with your own guns, okay? Wow. Otherwise, keep doing exactly what you're doing right now, and you know what I'm talking about. Then you know you'll do it for you. If that's really what you want, talk to you soon. Okay, bye. Yeah. Very cryptid, but I don't see how that has anything to do with the KKK.
Yeah, I'm unclear about the KKK thing, but okay. I said an hour ago I was going to leave, and then you got me caught up again.
I know.
Yeah.
It was a great combo, though.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, we've been on for 3 hours, so I think myself, I'm going to go find something to eat as well. So
yes, I need to. For me, it's approaching my bedtime, so at some point I got to figure out. I'm hearing the dog make noises, so I'm assuming he's okay. I think he's just snoring on the couch from that last pill I gave him. But yeah, I got to start wrapping things up here.
Yes, it's been very fun. You can come on panel anytime. Like I said,
thank you.
Let me know, and I'll send you a link, and you're more than welcome on.
I appreciate that
even
very much.
Even during game night, all of that.
You game. Oh, that's right. The game night. I want to that's the last thing I'll do. Thank you very much for that game night.
Oh, no problem. I like it because there's so much drama on YouTube that we all just need to relax, have fun, and that's the whole point of YouTube, is to come escape the everyday issues, not have more issues because of YouTube.
Yeah, and I apologize for being so competitive and whining that I was like never going to, because the point wasn't to win, like you said. The point was just to have fun. But
I'm very competitive myself, so I understand.
It's hard for me to play any game and not want to win the game, to the point where if I can figure out, and there's not really a way to cheat in the games you're playing, but
there is. You can kind of search some of the trivia very fast, but it's hard when they have a timer. So
yeah, and I didn't search anything, but like there's this Words with Friends.
Yes.
That used to be a big deal. May still be a big deal. I don't know.
I love Words with Friends.
But I would play it, and I would get the corresponding apps that would take the letters and like tell you what words you can put in there.
I didn't know they had that.
Yeah, there's websites. You just type in the letters and you say, "Here's my letters, and here's how big of a word I need." And you can also say it needs to have one of the letters in this particular spot because where everything is lining up. And other people, like if I was playing with total strangers, they wouldn't know any better. But I had friends who refused to play with me because I would tell them, and that was cheating. You're supposed to just know the words and do it. And it's like, but nothing's stopping me from doing this.
Exactly.
And you could do it too. And then we'd be on a level ground. So I felt like since my goal is to win, I should use those things. But I was told that you shouldn't do that. That's not kosher, I guess, or whatever, not allowed. So yeah, I don't play that game anymore. But yeah, I like to win things. I gotta
find the game because there is a game kind of like Words with Friends that we could play here on the channel. I forgot what it's called. But I'll have to look it up so that way we can figure it out, maybe even buy it and then have some fun. So I used to play it on Twitch.
Yeah. But it was your reminder to me was good that the point was to have fun and not worry about who's winning, and just to chill out.
Exactly.
And I approached that towards the end, and I'll do better the next time and not just try to win. Because again, like you said, that's not what we're there for. Somebody's going to, but that's not really the point. But that was a lot of fun. Appreciate you letting me get in on that, because that was a good thing to do at that moment. Like you said, was just to put everything aside and just have fun for a while doing that, and that was fun.
Yes. Well, it'll be Friday night. We'll probably start. So I get out of work at 5:30. I only work literally 2 minutes away, so we'll probably start like 5:45, 6. So I will set that up and I will have it on so everybody can set their reminders.
Are you also, I forget, which time zone are you in?
Eastern Standard.
Oh, same as mine. Yeah. See, that's the problem I ran into with Cool Frog. He said, "Oh, I'm going to have you on." And then I realized that he starts at midnight my time.
Yes.
And I had to explain, hey, if I'm up at midnight, something's gone horribly wrong. Something's failed. I ate too much, whatever. Something terrible has happened if I'm up at midnight, and I'm probably not going to be the best person to have on.
See, I love staying up late, but now with work, I can't stay up late.
I used to work late or super early, so I was used to those hours. But yeah, I'm very much, literally, it's about to turn 9 o'clock, and sometime between now and 9:30, I'll be in bed, and then I'm up like at 6:30. It's just the schedule I'm used to now. And my son is the one that stays up super late. I just can't do that anymore. Or if I do it, I'm going to pay for it the next day.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Well, it's been so much fun talking to you. Like I said, you're welcome anytime on my panel. Okay. And we will talk to everybody on Friday. I might make a video, so definitely check it out. If you haven't, check out the Ray J Kim Kardashian video, because that is very interesting. What is going on with that? It's something that we've been seeing since 2007, but it seems like everything we've always thought of that Kim was in on it was true.
Interesting.
And Ray J provided all the receipts.
And I'm sorry, Ray J?
Yes, it was that whole sex tape scandal.
I have no clue. I
boy,
don't. I
you
know
gotta check it out.
I know those Kardashians were on TV at one point. I know they're connected to.
So that was the start back in 2007 when they started their Keeping Up with the Kardashian show.
Yeah,
because they had the what was the Paris Hilton show? Of course, I can't think of it, but she was Paris Hilton's like personal assistant.
Okay.
And then they had this sex tape to boost the ratings for Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Oh.
And then recently they ended their series on E and they started on Hulu a new series just called The Kardashians. And when they did that, they brought up the whole Ray J scandal again. Goodness. And he's tired of it. He's made to look like the bad guy throughout this whole situation. And reality is her mom and her were both in on it.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. A lot more going on there than I realized.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Had no idea.
I'm not big into the Kardashians, but that whole situation is very interesting. And he might be taking them to court. So we will be definitely checking that out if that happens.
Nice. I wonder if it'll be one of those court things that'll be live for the whole world to see what's happening. That would be awesome.
Knowing them, they probably will, even if it's bad publicity, because bad publicity is still good publicity in their sense. Yeah. So,
because I've gotten hooked on watching court stuff. Like when I'm working, I'll have, instead of music in the background, I'll have Michigan is very big on having their court proceedings on YouTube, and I'll just have that playing in the background. And some of it's pedestrian, some of it's tenant landlord or. But even then, it gets really chaotic and fun to listen to.
Oh, definitely. I love watching that stuff.
Yeah, because you never know. There's always going to be somebody that doesn't quite know how to act in court. Or better yet, it'll be a judge that's really like he senses that person is tense and he gets them laughing and he's very loose with them because, it's sometimes it's traffic infractions or something like that. And it's not, but yeah, it's very interesting to see how courts actually work. So yeah, if this Kardashian thing is live, maybe you can do that LawTube thing and stream it on your channel and we can all watch it while it's happening. That would be awesome.
Well, like I said, you are welcome anytime, and I will see everybody at least on Friday. So I hope you all have a wonderful day tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then. Thank you again, Chuck.
You are very welcome. Thank you.
No problem. Bye, everyone.